Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody is well. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday so far today. Um, it was a nice day. It was one of the nice days. I was out for a walk for a good while there. It was a good day in terms of the weather wise. So hopefully it stays because again, it didn't get dark nearly to 6 o'clock there, so it's a good stretch in the evening. So it's very good to say. It's very good to say there. But it'll be soon bright evenings and stuff like that. We'd be able to go out and do live streams and stuff like that. We used to do that last year. Um, in the summertime, go out when it's a good day for a walk and live stream at the same time. So we'll be able to do something and chat about things in that terms. So hopefully all work going well. That can happen soon enough because I want to kind of go for a walk and chill out, and we can just chat and stuff like that. Hello, Sean. Hello, Val. Hello, Brian. Crack. Too much crack, Sean. Too much of it. Too much of it. Far too much. Like I'm going to go on for about 2 hours here today, maybe, or 3 hours. Depending how much I have to say about one issue particularly. Um, so you probably hear from next week with it, because this is not going to go away anytime soon. I suppose. Let's put that way. Um, what am I thinking about? Just give me 2 moments. Just give me a moment. Sorry. Just give me 2 seconds. I just have to check this thing when I'm here. Just when I'm here, because I'm only thinking about it now. Such as a streamer, I am only thinking about it now. But yeah, it's all creased and stuff. So give me 2 seconds. Apologies. Give me a moment, will you? So I'm just looking for something here I'm just looking for something, so just give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. I was looking for a book. I don't know where I put it. It's supposed to be there, but I don't know where I put it. It must be downstairs. Wasn't you? Why would it be me now? Lost, didn't I? Oh, the other night you were here. Well, it wasn't me. Of course, it was me. I wouldn't go to Santa Mountain's house, and I wouldn't do it anyway. I wouldn't do it. It wouldn't be appropriate to go, to Santa's house with a follower. It's not anyway except, to do that to anybody, regardless of who it is. It's not acceptable. It shouldn't be acceptable. I think anybody would agree with that. I don't have the address. No, I don't have the address. I have the person who did its address. I found out his address and stuff. But a lot has happened over the last 24 hours. There's a lot of people online. Like he's basically public enemy number one, at the moment. So he probably will have to leave Finland, which is a great thing because he literally is public enemy number one at the moment. So a lot of people have found his address, found out everything about him. We know where he's from. We know everything about him pretty much. So he's public enemy number one. So pretty much he can't go out in the streets because people will torment him. So that's a good thing. So he shouldn't pretty much pick on young women and then threaten to kill a child, etc. So we'll talk about it in a few minutes. I'll show you screenshots and stuff of it. Not his address or things like that, but I don't know where she lives or anything like that, and I wouldn't want to know. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to go anywhere near her house or anything like that. But as I say, I know people from the Social Democrats over there, and if she was there, like if she was in Finland and stuff like that, I could meet her at the Parliament or whatever. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't go to her apartment, or it wouldn't be appropriate, or not even that. It's not the best, thing to be doing, I suppose. But no, I don't want to know where she lives either. If you don't understand. Because at the end of the day, as the Irish people say, your house is your palace. Your house is your kingdom. Nobody should violate your property, etc., etc. You often heard me saying about politicians too here when protests happen outside their houses, etc., etc. Like I was always brought up that your house is your kingdom. You shouldn't violate that space unless the person asks you to come over or something like that, or the person. You shouldn't just turn up, something like that. That's always the way I've been, that's always the live way. It was always brought up that way, and I don't think that'll ever change. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? But like I don't know. She probably has other work now with the Tony Blair. It's just she'd be away in it from Finland, I say at the moment. Not from today. She was after the conference thing today. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. She is divorced, yeah. I don't know, but there might be in the process of the divorce. I don't know. There was papers fired and stuff, so I presume it's probably nearly done over or whatever the story may be. I suppose it is none of our business too at the same time, because Sandamount definitely would never fit if it's fully like the whole papers were signed, everything's done. She never would say it. We know about it, but she never would tell us. Like she said about getting the divorce, but she never would say anything else after that. It's the same with the stock. She hasn't released any public comment or anything like that. She doesn't want to have it in the public domain, I suppose. And like anything she say be on the front page of every newspaper in Finland, pretty much. That's Sandamount's mindset. She doesn't want her public matters being aired, like very public. Well, literally, like this is took on a whole new life form. This stalking situation, and it's just insane. Like it's literally still in every newspaper in Finland, the front page of every newspaper. Literally, there was a car accident in one part of Finland and 2 people died, and the main thing was Sandamount's stalker. Was the main thing, and then there was other things too, and the main thing was Sandamount on the front page of the newspaper and everything, pretty much the main news story, everything. It's quite insane when you really think about it. It was blown out of proportions, like insane. Proportions, and I don't think she wanted it. Again, that's why she asked for a private sitting, but the judge said, you have to come in if you want to. I was training order against this vow. You have to come into a public session, for the court, and that's what started the whole charade, which I knew as soon as I heard about it was going to be a big fucking publicity charade. No, but a big media spectrum. It shouldn't be really in a way. And then there's nothing said about your man. That's the funny thing. The mainstream media are protecting your man. They won't even. Half the information we know about him now wasn't from the mainstream media. It was from independent people going out of the way to find out who he was, to make sure that people around his area knew who he was, and that they know everybody in Finland knows who he is. The media didn't do it. The media should have done it, said who he is and where he's from. They didn't do it. They're only doing it now because everybody knows now. People online have found it out, etc., etc. And so it should have been from the start. The media should have said it. But again, the only reason why he's a refugee, well, not a refugee, he's from a different country, doesn't have citizenship in Finland, etc., etc. He's only a low-life scumbag. So that's pretty much it. And it doesn't suit the narrative. And, questions have been asked and stuff like that. So they don't really want that, the media and the justice system. I can speak some Finnish. I can't speak much Finnish. But so that's that. But there's a lot more to say about it, because there's a lot that's been found out about him and stuff like that. There's probably still more to be found out, but hopefully, anyway, even if the government don't kick him out of the country, he would probably have to leave because he won't be able to walk any streets in Finland. So that's the best solution. That members of the public will point him out in the street and deal with him that way. Let's put it that way. Just shouting him down on the street, He won't. When a big fella comes along and says you like picking on women or children, he won't be able to. Because again, if a man did come along to a man, he targets women and children. That's what he does. That's how he is, a coward. But he wouldn't dare, say it to a man, etc., etc., because he's too much of a coward. Somebody that would fight back and stuff like that. So hopefully that happens. Somebody comes up to him and makes him leave. That's what I. Because he should be gone anyway. There shouldn't be an issue about it. He should have been set on the plane by now and sent home with a one-way ticket and told never to talk on the door again. Yeah, I see some of the media saying that, but they're only saying because he's a refugee, pretty much. So that's the only reason. But he's definitely not, because he's done this before. He's done it before. It's not his first time. It'd be different. Maybe it was first time. You can argue, but he definitely isn't. He's just a scumbag. That's how he is, and he doesn't seem to care. To be told, there's no remorse or anything like that. So he seems like just one of them people that is not so. So with that, and I probably feel arrested for hate speech for saying, because he's a different nationality and stuff. He's a protected class, etc., etc. And obviously the Finnish media are saying everybody's an extremist for saying this fellow, pointing out the obvious, etc., etc. And pointing out the obvious is right, because he shouldn't be in the state. He's committed crimes, shouldn't be there. Simple as that. He only is a Welshman, he's not a citizen, he should be sent home. Because I don't know what he get off what he's doing in Turkey. I don't think the authorities would be too nice over there. I think they probably will send him to prison now. Do something terrible to him, let's put it that way. They wouldn't let him out and restrain an order, He wouldn't do it in his own country, that's what I'm trying to say. Because I don't think they would put up with it, hate speech. Helen McAtee wants to know my location. But yeah, so that'll be something. Oh, they'll definitely be whinging over what stuff I've been saying about your man. There's definitely going to be some pushback on me sooner or later from Garda Síochána Conroy, I say, for what I said in some cases about your man. I definitely think there probably will be. We're not from Garda Síochána Conroy, probably somebody will cry somewhere about it. But that's only my opinion, and it's only right he should be sent home. He's committed crimes. He's on the dole in Finland. He's a burden on the Finnish taxpayer. He's a risk to Finnish society. He's a risk to people. I could go on, but he's no benefit to Finnish society, and therefore should be sent home and never to return. And that's as simple as that, because he's a violent individual. So we have to get talking to Rika to see where the sitters are, the Cutty's opponent. But we'll show you more about in the second and stuff like that. But anyway, so you're going to hear me go on about this for a long time. But I think everybody, regardless of who you are, left or right in Finland, I think everybody agrees, and even internationally, that this fellow should never have been in the country in the first place. As soon as he committed this crime before, in threatening to kill a child and a woman, he probably should have been sent home straight away as soon as that happened and told never to come back. Because he's done that. He's not like he's his first offence or anything like that. Like, he's a dangerous person. Threatening to kill a young child, the 30-year-old man threatening to kill a child. Imagine that. And that he was still allowed to stay in the country in the West as a moment. It's beggars belief that he wasn't told to get on the plane and never to return. Hello, Fiona, but that's what I'm saying. It's insane. Like, that's the main thing a lot of people are very annoyed about. That it's not his first offence; it's his third offence in Finland. And he's not. It doesn't have work. He's on the dole. The Finnish taxpayer is paying for him to stay there. Isn't it lovely? He doesn't have to do a day's work and all that. He can go around stalking women, etc., etc. He could stalk the former Finnish prime minister for a few months, etc., etc. Tried to get into his house, and God knows what, your child. It can go on forever. But what I'm trying to say is, it's ridiculous that it hasn't. The judge didn't tell him to get the fuck out of the country, because that's what I would have told him to do. Get the fuck out of the country now. That is safe. No restraining order. Just get on a plane. Goodbye. That's the solution. Because even if he stays, this is the thing. This is the stupid thing at the end of it all. If he doesn't get deported or sent home, next year, San Amman will have to go again to the court to ask for another restraining order. And then the next year after that, the permanent solution would be send him home. That's the simple as that. That will save everybody down the hardship. We never dark on the doorstep again, because he'd be sent home. He'd be in Turkey, he can do whatever he wants over there. And I don't think they put up with it in Turkey. He will face very harsh repercussions if he done it in Turkey. But, you get what I'm saying. Because she have to go back next year at this time to go and look for another restraining order, and then next year, because it's only for a year. So after a year, it's going to be the same crack again, which is utterly ridiculous. And particularly, this man is no use to any Finnish society, because he hasn't served in the army. He's not willing to go and fight if the Russians come along and presume he won away, because when he actually has to fight man on man, he won away, because that's what he is. But he hasn't done any service in the military, etc., etc. And he's no addition to anybody, pretty much. He's a burden on the state. He's been paid for, and again, his interpreter was paid for by the Finnish taxpayer. He's a burden, and he should be sent home. And that'll solve all the solutions. That'll be the solution to everything. He'd never be in Finland again, never cause any trouble, because this fellow was going to do it again. He might not do it to the San Amman, but he would do it again. He definitely is. He's done it 3 times before. So 2 times before San Amman, he's done it to his ex-partner on the north. He's done it before. He'd do it again. Simple as that. Because he's not been sent to prison. He hasn't faced really any repercussions. Yes, in solidarity with San Amman, of course. That's the reason why I'm wearing it at the moment. But, that's what I'm saying. That's my opinion. Because that's, again, in a year's time, we'll be back. There'll be this whole shenanigans again, with her having to go into the court and look for the permanent solution would send him home. Simple as that. That's the permanent solution. Send him home and never let him come back into the country. That's what I would do. I know that sounds harsh, but it should be harsh because the only language this fellow understands is very harsh languages. Instead of being handled with kitty gobs, because that's what the justice system, the mainstream media are doing in Finland at the moment. They're handling with little kitty gobs and protecting them more or less in the sense. It's insane. And that's the simple that because his face has been blown out. Members of the public had taken it upon themselves to find out who this man is, and to make sure that everybody knows who he is. And the media didn't do it. The media should be doing it, because he's allowed to just walk the streets of Finland again and do it to some woman and their child again, or trying to kill a child, or do it, even though who knows what he'd do. It'd be different if he said to prison he wouldn't be any risk to anybody because he'd be in prison. But he isn't. He's walking the streets with a Australian order. That's it. But I could go on and on and on. But lucky I don't live in Finland at the moment because I would kick up. I would kick up fuss. Well, I'm kicking up fuss already. And stuff like that. Which is only right too, because it's total bullshit. Regardless if she's the former Finnish Prime Minister or whoever she is, if she was another woman too, I'd say the same. If it was an Ireland too, I'd say the same. If you're a foreign national, you commit a crime, you don't have citizenship here, you should be sent home. There's no beginning and end. If you want a red light or something, if it's something so minor that we can overlook it, we'll give you a chance. But if it's something like this, stalking women, threatening to kill a young child, trying to break into somebody's house, goodbye. Simple as that. No, there's no second chances. Good luck. Goodbye. Never come back. But if you just want a red light or something, that we're willing to overlook that. But this is a serious thing. And the same if it happened here, I'd say the same. They should be sent home. It's the same with this. Many people who commit crimes here, foreign nationals, they should be sent home. Simple as that. They won't do it in the home country. They wouldn't dare do it in the home country because a lot of their countries won't be too tolerant and won't be forgiving. If you steal something in a majority of the Middle East, you get your hand chopped off and you won't do it again because you have no hand to do it. Over here they get off with it. Simple as that. That's what I'm saying. Like we're too laddie da. We're too simple. We're too what's the word? And I hate to say it again. And unfortunately, we have to be tough because people will take advantage of our kindness. Unfortunately, and it's the sad thing about reality. It is the truth. We want to be decent people. We want to try and be understanding to people coming. And stuff like that. We want to give people a chance. We want to give people the benefit. Irish people always give people the benefit of the doubt. But unfortunately, in this world, years ago, you could do that and things would work out okay. But nowadays, people take advantage of your kindness. It's the same as me. I've always tried to be good to people and help people out, etc. But there's people, unfortunately, that will take advantage of it. There's people that would use you and take advantage. And it's just sad reality of life. Years ago, you could trust people. If somebody came in, you could trust them to behave and to do the right thing. Nowadays, you can't. Simple. It's a sad state of the world, but it's just a sad reality, and we have to wake up to that reality. But there's people there that are going to do harm. Now, I'm not saying everybody can't paint everybody with the one brush, but people like this fellow, has done nothing of any benefit in his life. He's been a door scratcher in Finland. He's threatened to kill a small child. He's no benefit to anybody, and therefore should be sent home. Simple as that, because he's committed crimes. He's been no good to anybody. And I say that, and if I need to go to prison for it, so be it. But that's my opinion of it. Be totally honest. And to be totally honest, is every Finnish person's opinion too, that he should be set. That would have been the issue solved. Send them home. That's the end of it. Anyway. Yeah, but we walked up too, if it was. If this was in Cavan too, I'd be still walked up too. Like the people, we show you a case from, you probably heard about the assault in Malhan. Like they had the names of the suspects, so they should, and where they live, etc., and what they walked at. They had that up on the local media, Northern Sound, the Anglo South. In fairness, they did. They were Irish people, but again, they did commit an assault. There's a man in Beaumont Hospital at the moment fighting for his life in his 40s because he was assaulted by these 3 individuals in Malhan. And they were put up on social media, their names and everything, their faces were put on, and so that's the right thing to do, but not protecting somebody with blowing their faces, etc., because it is the right thing to do. If somebody commits a crime, you use your anonymity. Simple as that. If you commit a crime like this, there's no anonymity. There's no hiding behind anything. Simple as that. Because at the end of the day, you should be out there for doing them things, because especially that it's a lot more serious, obviously, one month than what we're talking. But again, who knows what he could have done if he got into an apartment. When you really think about it, it could have been a lot worse. But yeah, I have very strong opinions on it, and I will do when I go over there. You can bet your fine dollar I will have strong opinions on it. Um, I definitely try and meet some of them, some of the true Finns or whoever. I met one of them before. I'm going to meet some of them again. I'm going to make it my mission to talk to some of them. And if he's still in the country by that time, we'll see what we do. What I mean by that is we'll talk to the authorities and see what they do about it. Or even just the ways we discuss that. Because the True Finns said, like Wika, the head of the True Finns, the Minister of Citos, she said that any foreign national, she said when she took power, any foreign nationals commit crime in Finland, etc., should be sent home. This fellow should be sent home. And the same with people coming into the country at the moment in Finland. They wouldn't go and let any people in. Only people they wanted to let in, etc., which is the right thing to do. But he should have been sent home by now. Let's put that way. They should have him on the plane today. He'll be doing to sent home. No, I'm not going to stand guard and stuff like that. But she won't be there half the time. She's half of the time in different other countries and stuff like that. She's half of the time not even in Finland at all. The only reason why she was there, I suppose, more in December, and I even knew this too, that she said herself in October that she was going to spend a lot of time with her family in December, relax with her family or child, etc. Like she said it herself, I'm going to spend more time in Finland with the child, enjoy Christmas and the New Year, and that's what she said. And you see, and unfortunately, this happened because she spent a good bit of time in Finland, because the majority last year she was away in this country, the other country, that country. She was in Germany, the United States. She was in here. She was different places, Singapore. That's what I'm saying. And then she's, and again, unfortunately, she spent time with her child. And again, this is what happened, and it's not, and I do feel for her child too, because this was Christmas Eve. He tried to get into her apartment and stuff like that. So you can only imagine the poor child. I think she's only 5, I think something like that, 6. And the mother, again, is not there too much, in her life, because she's away on business and stuff with the Tony Blair Institute. But even just that regard, it's very sick what this individual done. And I'm sure it probably messed up the whole Christmas, and probably the child is afraid, probably, and stuff like that. Like, who knows? We don't even know all the details. Santa will never say it. There's definitely more. There's far more to this. What was said, but she won't say it, Santa. She generally won't say it. She did. I bet you any money she didn't want this to even become public for members of the public to know about it, because that's the type of Santa Mountain. It's a private matter. It's a own personal business. But interesting politics. It's a long story. Mainly just injustice and stuff like that. When you see injustice and stuff, you have to speak out. And I suppose to try and make the world a better place. And some say even a 0.5% difference in making the world a better place is better than no difference. That's the way I see it. And I suppose that's the main thing. Yeah, she has a young daughter, Emma. That's the child's name. So that's what I'm very annoyed about too, that bit too. Many, many things annoy me about this, let's put it that way. If that makes any sense. Well, I don't even have to do that. People are doing it at the moment. Like, as I say, the only reason how I know his name and everything about him now, because members of the public took it upon themselves to do the journalist's work, to find out his name, to find out everything about him, and they have his name and everything. They put it up on social media and said to people, if you see this fellow on the street, give him a telling off. And so he won't be able to walk the streets. And so that's the best solution, because you have to leave. Nobody would want to talk to him or anything. And his friends will probably disown him and all that. And that's because again, the only fair, this person is no benefit to anybody, because threatening to kill a small child, he done this before, and his mother, that child's mother, and then threatening to, as we don't know, did he threaten to kill Dana Mountain or whatever the story may be, but he's no benefit to anybody. That's what I would, and I say that's straight. But you get what I'm saying. I'm sure you get what I'm saying. It's no addition to anybody. And that's what the media should have done, made sure, because the shame alone should get to him of being ostracized in society, because that's the best solution, just ostracize him. Just, even if he goes into the shop, refuse to solve him. That's what I would say, because I don't think he shouldn't be in the country in the first place, let's put it that way. But even just them things, because again, he deserves no mercy, in my opinion. He deserves none of it. It was that. Usually I'd be understanding enough if somebody done something, it was a mistake or something like that. But he knew what he was doing. Like we can use the mental, they can use the mental health thing all they want, but he knows what he's doing. It's not his forced to odium. It'd be different if he's his forced defense. You could say maybe, but with his total defense now, you can't say that. No reasonable person can sit there and say that because he's only will do it again. If he's done it 3 times before, he's going to do it again. Simple as that. We look at it now. Like I could go on about it, like, well, wait. So this is so as I say, this is Friday and stuff like that. So this is the messages he said. So this was in November 2023. This wasn't Santa now, but this was what was it? This was his ex-partner and his child, ex-wife. So you can see his messages here. This is, and he also threatened the child in a phone call. He threatened to kill his own, like it must be his own child or the ex-wife, his child. It might not be his child, but you can see the threats here. So pretty much he threatened to take the poor child, an innocent child. I think they said she was only 10 years old, and he's threatening to kill a child. And the man had totally think about that. Just sit down and think about that for a second. And the police took it serious. Like the police did take it serious. They took it very, very serious. That this man was capable. He was capable of doing it. It wasn't just idle threats. So you can see, it's quite disturbing. And finding the child obviously would, and etc. etc. And then he went to their house and stalked them at their house. Like, this fellow is a low life. If you ever look up the definition of a low life, this fellow's face should be on it. So he is not a Finnish citizen. He's a Turkish citizen. I thought he was Pakistani, but he's a Turkish citizen. He's done no service in the army because he's not a Finnish citizen or anything like that. So if the Russians did come, this is the question that needs to be asked too. Would he fight the Russians? Would he fight for Finland? Because he's the Finnish taxpayer is paying for his interpreter, is paying for his, he's giving social welfare because that's what he is. He's not working. He's on social welfare. So he's living off the Finnish tax bill. But the question is, and this is the thing, is he loyal to Finland? Because the Finnish government have done a lot for him. Would he put his life on the line to fight for Finland if it did come to that? Because I don't think he would. I think he won away and claim asylum in some other place because he seems to be a coward, and that's how he is. But you can see here, this is the message to his ex-wife. So he has a history of this, and he'd done it to a nurse before too. Like he threatened to kill a nurse. This is the scumbag here. Like he's done this before. That's what I'm trying to say. And it was a serious thing before. So he's no. So this is his total restraining order against his victim. So he's a serious tormentor. That's what the media are calling him. Like he is a serious tormentor. Like he made this woman's life, his ex-wife, and this other woman that he didn't even know. He just started stalking her and that worked as a nurse. He made their life hell, and that's as simple as that. And this fellow is still in Finland, and these are Finnish citizens. Like the nurse is a Finnish citizen, etc., and nothing was ever done. He was only got a restraining order. But yeah, this was taken serious. Like he pretty much threatened to kill the child. Like imagine you're a man at 30 something, you're threatening to kill a child. Just sit down and think about that for a second. And the judge sat there and fucking let him off with it. Excuse my language, but like for fuck's sake, these fucking judges, like, do they have any kind of morality at all? They're just all up in their own fucking head. And we all know why, because if this was a Finnish citizen, it'd be an entirely different story. And so it would. If that was a Finnish citizen, they'd be going to prison, be all over the newspapers, their face and everything be all over the newspapers. But only because of who he is. That's the only reason why. And that's what I deem it as. And the Finnish government could prove me wrong if they want. Because there's no evidence to suggest that they're doing this to protect him. It seems to protect the establishment. That's what it is, because of who he is. We don't know when he arrived in the country, etc. So we should know. That's the one thing we don't know. Which year did he come into the country? So they don't think he was, so yeah, and then it says about the nurse too, who asked a nurse. But the only reason why this was said, and this was only found out now, he was arrested near a house in December. It was explored, a 1-year warden. The court of the risk, like the court themselves, the judge that was sitting there with Santa Marin, said the man would, there's a risk that the man would commit a crime against Santa Marin if the restraining order wasn't implemented. So even the own court, even the judge that sat there on his own fucking bench, excuse my language, but even he and even the court themselves said there is a risk that he would go back and commit a crime against Santa Marin, attack her. God only knows what he could do. But there is a risk. Like, there is a risk. He's not like he's learned his lesson. He apologized. He said he won't go there near her again. Like, there is a risk. So I presume that he probably threatened to kill Santa Marin at some point. during the attack trying to get into the house. I presume he threatened Trento. And even that alone, do you not think that is what, like, threatening to kill a former prime minister? First of all, threatening to kill anybody. You probably should go to prison for them, particularly who it is. You probably should be locked up because even the court themselves are saying this, that it's a risk. And that's why they will promote the water. But do you not mean to tell me that he should have been sent to prison or sent away to another country, perhaps, back to his home place? But that's what I'm saying. Like he's not an upstanding citizen. They try to use the mental health angle, but they are saying that he's not an asylum seeker. But he wasn't a refugee or anything that. But so yeah, as we see here, like his ex-wife was saying he's aggressive towards the woman. The man was frustrated and he had mental health problems. They're using this, like again, the media. I presume there's nothing about it because he definitely didn't have mental health problems. He's just sick in the head. Not sick in the head in terms of mentally. He's just a fucking scumbag. Excuse my language, but let's call it for what it is. He knows what he's doing. He's done it many times over December. We can't be using this mental health angle. Simple as that. It's not good enough. Because again, God, it takes a bit of God, it didn't happen, but something could have happened to the former Finnish Prime Minister. We might be sitting here, saying that Sanna Marin's fighting for life in hospital if he would have got in. God only knows what he could have done. It takes a bit of God, nothing happened in that regard. Something serious. But again, we have to take it seriously. We can't just say it's mental health problems, let him off. He can do it to another woman. Let him do it. That's more or less what they're suggesting here in this terms, that he's mental health and stuff like that. But if you commit a crime, you face the consequences, regardless of mental health or not. I had mental health problems when a few years ago. I didn't go around with knives, so I didn't go around banging into women's doors, etc., threatening to kill a child, etc. You just don't do that. I didn't do that. I wanted to hurt myself, of course. But I didn't want to hurt anybody else. Because at the end of the day, it's my own problems. Hurting somebody else or attacking somebody else or stalking somebody else is not going to solve my mental health problems. So as simple as that. We can't be using this. And again, he was unemployed. He was on the dole. Finished tax repayment. As I say, this, and again, in a year's time, this is the thing. In a year's time, we'll just go back to the bottom for a second. Because I can't emphasize this enough. If he's not deported, etc. So it's only 1 year. So this time next year, we'll be sitting here probably again saying he was brought to court. Sanna Marin had to go and look for another year. So it's stupid. So the best solution is send them home. Send them home. Give them a one-way ticket. Send them home. Never to return. Because that's the only way to get rid of them, to be told. Send them home and let the Turkish authorities deal with them. Simple as that. Because that's the only way. Because listen, in a year's time, he's going to be back with the same bullshit. So the rest of her life, she'll probably have to keep going back if he stays in Finland. Hopefully he won't. But yeah. Hello, Evan. Sorry, I know I probably went a bit mad for a second. Excuse me, but no, it's not acceptable. It isn't acceptable. I can't understand it because again, I know some people probably, but that doesn't sit with me. I'm sure we would understand that. Do I not block ads? The block ads. Oh, you mean the thing? Yeah, over there on everything. But I don't have ads playing on this. But hello, everyone. Sorry. But like as I said, I had mental health problems. I had serious mental health problems a few years ago. I never hurt anybody. I never would do it, even if I had mental health. So like I was fucked up in the mind. I will admit that. I had extreme bad times when I was younger. I was in the mental health hospital, for God's sake. But I never hurt anybody. I never touched. I never would. I would hurt myself more than would hurt anybody else, to be totally honest. And that's only the truth. Again, you can't be just saying it's mental health problems. You can go around killing people. As simple as that. That's more or less what we're suggesting as a society too. That if they have mental health problems, they should get immunity for going around stabbing somebody or going around attacking women, etc., etc. And that shouldn't be the case. Simple as that. If you break the law, you face the consequences, regardless of mental health, whatever. You face the consequences of it. And if he has mental health problems, he should be locked up in an asylum. Simple as that. He shouldn't have been allowed to walk the streets. This is his third offence now, just to say. This is not his first offence that just came out of the blue. You get what I'm saying? And it might be harsh, but we need to be harsh. Because again, these people are taking advantage of the system. Simple as that. And again, this is the first time in Finnish history that a former prime minister ever had to go. And this just tells you, and as somebody said today, and it was a good point they made, and this is the thing we have to think about too, that it's very worrying for society in Finland, not even just in Finland, in Ireland too, that a former Finnish prime minister, the first time in Finnish history, 108 years of independence, that a Finnish prime minister had to go to court to look for a restraining order. It's the first time ever that has ever happened, or a Finnish president or anything like that. It's the first time it ever happened. So that sets a very bad precedent. And not even that he got off and he's out in parole, that he wasn't sent home and stuff. So this sets a very bad precedent for Finnish society, etc., etc. Not even that for the Western democracies here, even in Ireland too. That somebody could do this, go to, say, for example, to Leo Varadkar, or to whoever, Simon House's house, whatever, and do this too. It sets a bad precedent, and it does. Even though I don't like, I will admit, I'd be the first person to say I don't like Leo Varadkar, but I don't wish any harm to come to him at his house or into that, or people go to his house. I've said it before, even when people went to, I think it was Stephen Donnelly's house. I don't like Stephen Donnelly. I don't like Leo Varadkar. But at the end of the day, they're entitled to live in a house, and they're entitled to be there. Nobody should be outside their house. It's the simple that your house is your palace. Simple as that. Your house is your palace. It's an old saying in Ireland, but you shouldn't go to somebody's house with that kind of intention to protest and stuff like that. It should be off limits. And that's always the way I've been. And simple as that. Regardless of who it is, I don't like Leo Varadkar. I might as well tell you straight out. I wouldn't talk to him if I met him on the street. But still, I wouldn't wish that on him. I wouldn't wish them my worst enemy that somebody turn up at their house. It's a simple stand. I think everybody would agree. It's not appropriate. Whatever about asking them questions on the street, that's fair enough in a public street. But going into their private setting, into their house, where they have their family, their children, whatever it may be, it's not acceptable. It shouldn't be acceptable in society, because that sets a very bad precedent for society, that people could turn up to random people's houses and do these things. It sets a very bad precedent. And I'm sure we would all agree it does. And again, especially, you have to remember, for the first time in 108 years, the Prime Minister had to go. And she shouldn't have had to go in the first. He should have been sent home. That would have solved the whole situation. But that she had to go, the fact of the matter is she had to go in the first place. It shouldn't have happened. She shouldn't have had to go to court in the first place. It should have been south with it before she even went to court. That's what I'm saying. Because the solution would have been reject his diplomacy, because he has a residency permit. And the residency permit should be snapped. The sitters should come along and cut his residency permit, because that's the only cut his residency permit. He's not allowed to stay in Finland. Goodbye. That's as simple as that. And that's the only solution here. Be totally answered. But anyway, sorry, I'm going on and on, but I'm not happy about it. It's entirely fucked up situation. It's just generally entirely fucked up. Haven't tea? Haven't I? Have my tea and it's cold, probably. You can go on and on and on. Bitter cold. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, too. But I'm sure everybody would agree it's not appropriate for a man to go, or anybody to, regardless of who it is, if it's a woman or anybody, you shouldn't go and do this thing. But anyway, I probably missed half of the comments. But yeah, where is the Minister of Sitters? Like, where is her with her sitters? Wika, where is her with her sitters? Nowhere to be found. Like, she should be going to cut his residency permit, because he has a residency permit for another few months, another few years actually. Sorry, so he should probably get that cut. Wika should go and probably cut it and tell him to go home. Fair is fair. Like, she likes cutting stuff. She has a reason now to cut something, but she won't do it. Like, Winka's nowhere to be found. Where is Winka? Excuse me. Where is the Minister of Sitters? So that's the question. I probably missed half the fucking chat before. Hello, Trent. Sorry, I don't know if you're still here. Hello. Sorry, I meant to say hello to you. I only seen you now. See, that's why I'm going back, because I was too busy yapping. Did I miss anything else, just to say? Because when I was yapping and stuff like that, I just don't shut up. Well, especially when I get very, I will admit I'm very, very frustrated and very annoyed. I'd be the first person to say that to you. Like, I'm very, like, tell by me, because I'm physically very, like I would go, God forbid God forbid, if somebody from the Finnish police or something was talking to me now, I generally would go through them. And not even that, the judge, God forbid the judge was in front of me, I would tear him into bits. No, we're not literally tearing him, but literally shout him down for being such a stupid gobshite, excuse my language. But, like, all of this is stupid. Like, it is just stupid. Let's put it that way. I've never seen the like of it. Like, it's something that they will conjure up here, to be totally honest. Because we're giving the Irish government ideas now, what to do. That's what we're doing. Did I miss anything? But I'm just double checking to see if I missed anything. I don't think I did I? If I did miss anything, can you tell me? I don't think so. Can speak? Yeah, I remember talking about that. Yeah, okay, everything's fine. Sorry. Apologies about that, because again, when I'm yapping and stuff, I never shut up. So, especially when I get in that kind of I don't know what you call it, but just don't shut up. Pretty much, that's what I'm saying. And sometimes I can't see the chat because I've shown me the screen. But no, but the good news, I suppose, the good thing about this, the good thing about it, and I have to say, you have to really give Santa Mountain a bit of credit here. That she straight away, like today, and you can tell by it when you watch this, you can kind of tell that she is a bit. She does have something on her mind. I can tell by looking at her that she does. Like she's a bit distant. Well, not really distant, I would say, but you can definitely tell there's something on her mind. She's not herself. She's not smiling as much as she used to do and stuff like that. So, and because as soon as she went to this event, like the whole place was packed. Like the whole house, the media just came out of the wall. Like she wasn't announced that she was going to go there. So all the media in Finland, like bucketed down to this place. So pretty much there was nearly, I think they said there was 400 journalists or something like that, like there, because they were waiting for her to say something about, the current case. Because this is the first time she's been in public since yesterday. So everybody just, want to know that. So I do feel sorry for that she had, like, but a fair play to her, because if that was me, to be totally honest, after going through such a public thing yesterday, there was in every newspaper in Finland and even around the world too. It's been about it. I wouldn't have went to an event, a public event, etc., etc. So fair play to her. She does have a lot of backbone that she's able to go to it, even though she did nothing wrong. But it's not even that; just the amount of cameras, more than usual, because the media in particular were hoping that she would say something about the effect and stuff. But obviously, I could tell them 100% certainly. She referenced it. She kind of didn't say anything about it, but she referenced it. But still, fair play to her, because again, it must be very tough. Because again, you have to remember the whole media probably was winging her secretary, saying, "Oh, can you get a comment and stuff like that?" So that's probably what's been happening now the last 24 hours. Just total fucking anarchy, because it just literally was total anarchy. Like the media still, like they're going to be talking about this for the next week, pretty much. What I'm trying to say in Finland, like it's on every newspaper, the front page of every newspaper, every TV show, the main thing. So and again, this is the victim. We should be more worried about who done the crime and why he's not been sent to prison. So, like, the media is just entirely focused on a entirely different thing. They're too focused on Sana, and they should be focused on the person that's running the streets of Finland at the moment. That's what I'm saying. It's lunacy. That's what I'm saying. Break your whisk. But yes, that's what it is. They were talking about we'll talk about it later on. We'll go back to it. But they were talking about the working week, etc., etc. About a work-life balance and stuff like that. It was interesting. There's some things I will say about, but you can tell, but even by this picture alone, she does look very distant. Like I've watched Santa Mountain hundreds and hundreds of times. I've seen her in person. She was a lot more bubblier too when she was at the thing in Dublin. But you can kind of tell that she is a bit. You can tell by looking at her, she's a bit upset. Particularly in her eyes. You can, like, the main thing with Santa Mountain, you can see in her eyes when she's a bit upset. And it's so rightly so, because she did go through hell yesterday. She was dragged through hell for no reason. So you can kind of see, and you did see, and I watched the whole lot of it, that she was at some stages did look very distant, like she wasn't in the room, like she was taken outside the box or whatever. Like, we don't know what else was said. Like, that's what I'm saying. We only know half of the story. There's probably more to the story. But yeah, she did look very distant at some stages and stuff. But she did well to go up. Because I wouldn't have done it. Even if I was the former Prime Minister, I wouldn't have went up so quickly after what happened yesterday with this whole shenanigans. I wouldn't have done it. But fair play to him for doing it. Not many people could do it. That's what I'm trying to say. So, you have to give her credit's due, that she was able to go up the next day. Like, so yeah, there's a ski accident. I seen that in the news earlier on. But yeah, we move on from there. We move on to Ireland. How does that sound? And the home Isles. I hope I didn't. If anybody has any questions or anything, please do ask. Because I was too busy yapping for a while. But see, again, I can't emphasize that it's totally wrong. That's what I'm saying. And I wouldn't keep saying it, but it is totally wrong. And I feel very passionate about it. That it should be said. And particularly as a YouTuber and stuff like that, and particularly as a political YouTuber. It should be, it should be said and it should be called out, regardless. Even if it was in Ireland, even if it was, take for example, Holly Collins, God forbid, or something like that happened, I would still say the same thing. She's entitled to live in her house with her child and with her family too, without being disturbed. Or if somebody's stalking her. I would say the same. Simple as that. I would say the same. It's not appropriate. It shouldn't be tolerated in politics. It shouldn't be tolerated in any part of society. But it sets a very bad precedent that that there wasn't harsh punishment for this fellow. You know, just putting it out there, pretty much. I could go into more detail on it, but So speaking of harsh punishments, whoever said this was okay should be getting harsh punishments, because so it is a very historical thing. Don't get me wrong, and it's important that it's kept, but I don't know about 300,000. You're probably wondering what is 300,000 here. You're probably thinking it's the building behind you. No, you're probably thinking it's this building. No, it's this yoke. I don't even think it includes this. I think it's just the yoke itself. So the bike shed was about this. So this. So a bit of paint, a bit of concrete, a new door, maybe a new roof. That's about 326,000 euro. It is literally ludicrous. It's not even manned. It has no purpose nowadays. And years ago, it was used, for stuff. But you are mad if you tell me it cost 330,000 euro to do. You are mad. And these councillors in Cork City Council are sitting there saying this was a good investment. That's the funniest thing about it all. They're all sitting there in Cork County Council and they're saying to themselves, "This is great. This is okay." My tea is cold. It's no point now. They're all sitting there saying, "This is great. This is okay. I agree with this." Total anarchy. It's totally fucking wrong. Excuse my language. Well, it might as well be another bicycle shed. At least there's some use. Paying 300, that's a garden shed, Tony. You go into your local Woodies now tomorrow morning, and try and get a garden shed. It'd be something like that, and you get it for about 2,000 maybe euro. But let's be fair. This is a garden shed. Let's put it that way. How in the name of God? I know it's 120 years old, but how in the name of God does this small yoke cause that to upgrade into and doesn't serve any purpose nowadays? So how in the name of God does this cause that? Again, at the end of the day, it's probably only the size of this room. That's probably it. It's probably not even the width from there to the telly, to be totally honest. Maybe from this wall to that wall. That'll be it. And maybe just the height of the room here. How in the name of God could it be you really take and I wouldn't mind if we went down the road a bit just about down here. There's probably loads of homeless people in this area of Cork. They have nowhere to go and they're lying on the street. And that money could go towards housing them. But I know it's a historical building and I agree that it should be maintained and looked after. But to the tune of this, definitely somebody's pocketing the money somewhere. I'm saying this straight to Cork City Council and the councillors. Somebody's taking the money from somewhere. Not a hope. At most 10,000, maybe this cost 100,000. Maybe you could say. Maybe at most. Let's argue for argument's sake. But somebody's pocketing the 200,000 somewhere else. So definitely somebody's pocketed the other 200,000. Pretty much. And I accuse them of that. Not really accuse them, but I say that must be because there's no evidence. There must be no reasonable person would pay this. Let's put that for that. No reasonable man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But still, it doesn't take 300,000 to do it up. Let's be fair. Literally, you could build a house if you done it yourself. You probably could build a house for 300,000. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But still doesn't I'm sure you would agree. Still doesn't cost 300,000 to build, to maintain. They didn't even build it just to say. It's just maintained, just to pay it and all that. So as I mentioned earlier on when we was talking about Santa, etc., etc., this is what should have happened here. So there's photos of the suspect and stuff. This is better than what it was in Finland. At least we have names of the people. We know where they live, etc., etc. No, that sounds a bit sus. But, this is what should have happened in Finland. In Finland, they said the man at 30 did this. A man at 36 got a restraining order from Santa Marin. That was all that was said. Nothing else was said. They all focused on Santa Marin, which was utterly fucking stupid. In fairness to the Anglos out here, in fairness, this is what should happen when people commit crimes. Your name is put out, your address is put out, because at the end of the day, you committed a crime, you've lost your right to anonymity. Obviously, they wouldn't just this is the thing. In Finland at the moment, if this was the Sanna Marin case, they would have said Sanna Marin is in hospitals and stuff like that. But we're not going to talk about the assailant. That's what more or less what's happening in Finland at the moment. They're more focused on the victim. The victim of the crime is more important than anything. It's more important in the eyes of the media than the person who done it, the person who caused all this. That's what I'm trying to say to you. But we do. I hope this man does recover. He's in a very serious way in Beaumont. But hopefully, please God, he does recover. Because it was a very cowardly. It does seem to be a very cowardly attack. That the fella didn't put forth. It seems like it was very physical, a very emotional moment. Assault. But yeah, we have the whole fight at 9 yards. But yeah, so we please God the person does recover. But they definitely should go down for a long time for this. But there's photos online that the Anglos have put up photos, etc., the people being brought to the court, and so rightly so. Because they caused all this. The people that hit him caused all this. And they did. And they might try and hide their face and stuff, but the media in Finland done it themselves to try and hide his face. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Good to see you. Sorry if there's 100 million things going on. 5 minutes about the shed. Yeah, that's why I'm moving on. We'll not go there. So yeah, the local TD here, the new Fine Gael, doesn't know. It's unsure if the A&E unit is available. So you're a TD in Monaghan. I wouldn't mind if you're from Cavan, right? I don't know much really what's happening in Monaghan all the time. I know a bit. I can't say I know it all. But when you're literally living in Monaghan and you're the local TD in Monaghan, you probably should know what's going on in your county. Especially, again, if he gets a big job in the government. He probably should know, because at the end of the day, there's a programme for government. He should be looking for everything he can get from Monaghan. He should be literally kicking everybody to get as much money as he can from Monaghan. So obviously, accident emergency is not open in Monaghan. You have to come to Cavan. There's only Brady scans and stuff like that that's done in Monaghan. Obviously, it should be open, because it would take a lot of pressure off Cavan to if accident emergency in Monaghan was open, because a lot of people from Monaghan have to come down to Cavan to accident emergency. But he's not sure that he added it. However, not sure if that's achievable. Saying this, if I was a TD at the moment, I'd be making sure it's achievable, because I wouldn't shut my fucking mouth until I got what I wanted. Because again, he's in government. He's in Fine Gael. Fine Gael is going to be the next government. He should be jumping up and down. He's elected by the people, the Monaghan particularly. He should be shouting from the rooftops. He should be arguing with me, Martin and Simon House. He should be fucking arguing 24/7 with them. And until they said, yes, we're going to give you the money for it. Doing this and saying, I'm not sure if this is cheaper, so I'm not going to bother. That's more or less what he's pretty much saying. That's, in my opinion, what he's saying. Because pretty much this too, he said he was unsure. He pretty much more or less, in my opinion, he can prove me wrong if he wants. He can go into the All-Era now on Wednesday and start kicking up a fuss if he wants. But, he's not sure if this is achievable. He's a member of the Oireachtas. He's getting €120,000 a year. He should make damn sure it's achievable. Nothing's ever not achievable if you kick up enough fuss. In this country, it's not a political way. If you kick up enough fuss and you kick enough benches over, you turn over the tables. That's the only way you get things done in this country. If you fucking argue hell into back, that's the only way you achieve things. If you fucking shout from the rooftops, that's the only way you get things in this country. But again, just sitting down and saying, it's not achievable, why bother? Pretty much that's what I heard from him on Joe Finnegan. Why bother? Bullshit. That's what I say to him. So if this is going to be the way he's going to be, he might as well fucking leave, the Dáil, because the people of Monaghan didn't vote for somebody to say this is not achievable. He's in the government. I wouldn't mind if he's in the opposition, but it should be achievable. Look, they say they have unlimited money. They say the country's busting with money, and he's saying it's unachievable. It's a total bullshit. Joe Downs coming on the radio and saying that as a TD, a member of the All-Era, on 120,000 plus allowances. Is it achievable that we could take his money away, maybe, if he doesn't do it? We take his allowances away. We won't give him any expenses. I'd be sure that'd be achievable. But, if we done that, there'd be something done within a minute. But that's what I'm saying. So, so it's all bullshit. Excuse my language. Says, though. Yeah, very, politically neutral. But yeah, so but anyway, But I'm sure everybody agree. Like that's just defeatist talk, right there. Why too? Look, they were looking for my information. So I was going to make a video on this. I probably will. Just give me a second. Yeah, if anybody wants to get me down, no, we'll chat. But yeah, no, sorry if I'm seeing my base ways up and stuff like that. I'm not that happy over the thing. I'm sure everybody agree, but I'm not too keen. I don't think, in my opinion, it's an injustice. Um, to Santa Mountain and stuff. This fellow's still allowed to walk the place, like walk the streets and stuff. Not even that, just to only Finnish citizens too. That another woman could be targeted by this fellow too. I'm thinking of that too. That's what I'm thinking of. It's not right. It's not the precedent, because again, it sets a bad precedent for society. You know. Yeah, well, I just keep saying it, but that's why I'm very ways up and very aggravated as well. Not aggravated, but very. What would you? I don't know how you would describe it. Now. So in the council meeting was just Monday gone by. Now there's a councillor, Sinn Féin councillor. I think Sinn Féin, Fianna Gael maybe. I don't know. Could be wrong. But he's looking for like compulsory high fizz vest. And first of all, I agree with him. I always wear my high fizz vest because again, it really saves your life, especially in the dark evenings like now. You do need them. It's necessary to have them. I agree with you. But this is the thing. Just listen for 2 seconds. He says, but went to the Department of Transport compulsory. But this is the thing. How in the name of God could you do it? Just think for 1 second, because I don't think he's thinking about the bigger pictures. Like you can encourage people to do it as much as you want till the cows come home. But at the end of the day, how are you going to do this? Like the Gardaí can't enforce the traffic laws. If you misgender somebody nowadays, the Gardaí are too busy, enforcing that. So how in the name of God? So the Gardaí are supposed to go up and down the country, looking for people walking along roads, not wearing the high vis to give out to them or find them or whatever they want to do, or walk on the cyclists, e-scooters. Like the Gardaí be full time doing this, because what does he suggest? Who's going to enforce this? Because how would you enforce it? Simple as that. It'd be impossible to enforce. It's literally ludicrous to enforce, because how would you enforce it unless you take on a billion Gardaí to enforce it? Because it simply could not be done. Simple, and I might as well tell you straight, it's simply not be done. And I don't think in the lower sets too, they could enforce it. I don't think in terms of law, enforcement. They can ask people. It's the same with it's not illegal to wear, like when you're cycling the bike, you're recommended to wear a helmet, and I encourage people to do, of course, if you're riding the bicycle. But it's not technically law. The guards really can't really do much if you're not wearing a helmet on the bicycle. Because I've seen it before, the guards saying to people just to wear a helmet on the bicycle, and they couldn't really do anything. If they were it or not, they can't really bring them into the Garda station to deal with them or something like that. So it's literally, I don't think Councillor Brady is thinking about this. Who's going to enforce it? Is he going to go out and enforce it? Like I know it saves lives. Like I agree 100%. It's good, and I do encourage people. The only way you can do it is encourage people and say to people, "Look, it saves lives." Particularly when they're young people in secondary school, national school. Go into the schools, show them graphs of how effective the high phys are at night, etc. How likely you are to survive if you have one on, forces you in black clothing, etc., etc. Because it could not be done. In my opinion, I could not see a way that it could be enforced. And he didn't suggest, as far as I know, he didn't suggest there should be on Garda Síochána to do it, the Department of Transport, who would do it. Because I presume it would be on Garda Síochána, be pretty much the words of the road. But it never can be done. I could never foresee how it could be enforced. It could be brought in, but how could you enforce it? It'd be ludicrous. Because as we speak at the moment in County Cavan, I'm sure Council Brady knows this. But as we speak, the amount of people dumping stuff on roads, in ditches, etc., especially after Christmas, not even that, the amount of dogs just running around the place without supervision, etc., is insane. Not to mention, too, the amount of dog shit that's all over the fucking footpaths of our county, and there's no enforcement of that. So why are we running up and down, worrying about this when we should be enforcing the laws that are already in? We can't even enforce the laws that are already in. So why would we want to go and enforce a law that's not even in yet? You get what I'm saying? But I don't even think in the law sets too you could force someone to do it, to wear something. I don't think you could do that, as far as I know. I know it saves lives. I agree with that, and I'm not saying it doesn't. It 100% does. But I don't think you can do it. And who would enforce it? That's what you need to think about it. Yeah, well, Santa Moan always wears a reflective jacket when she goes out and about. Of course, we had to go back somewhere. um, so yeah, this bullshit again. Government orders to make child protection a priority. Hmm. Where is Walter Gorman? Because Walter Gorman, there's a good few children missing, and they're still missing. We still don't know where they are. So, first of all, the people with Tusla, the person over Tusla should be probably in prison for child neglect and probably corruption. Tusla is not the greatest organization to be told. There's loads of children missing. There's probably children more. It's insane the amount of children that died in state care that are missing at the moment. And the question is, and Wardrobe Goldman has never asked this question: where is the children, Wardrobe? Where is the children? I know you're not the minister for children, maybe at the soon, but where is the children? Where are they? There's none ever been said about that. But where are they? Simple as that. That's the simple question that needs to be asked. Where are they? What's the Gardaí doing about it? There's nothing like this, but it should be a priority. Of course, nobody is arguing that it shouldn't, because it is an emergency. There's a lot of bad actors, etc., parents and stuff like that, treating their children bad. But this is the thing: the state. I can't trust Tusla. As simple as that. I sit here now and say that to you. I can't trust them. Simple as that. I couldn't trust Tusla. Tusla has repeatedly showed time and time again that they're not able to protect children that are in need of protection. Simple as that. And God only knows where them children are that they're missing at the moment. God only knows where they are. We still don't know. It should be the priority of the state to find them and to know where they are. We don't know. Simple as that. They could be sold off to slavery for all we know. Ireland has a huge record of human trafficking. So we don't know. So that should be the priority. And I don't believe the government's serious, to be totally honest. Because if they were serious, they'd be held to pay for Rodrigo Gorman and the people over Tusla. We'd be bringing them into court and we'll send them to prison. Because to be told, that's probably where they should be going for child neglect and other stuff. And not even that, in society too, as I just said about Sana too earlier on, it sets a bad precedent that somebody can threaten to kill a child. And it has happened. I've heard of people threatening to kill children, etc., over custody, etc. Like, it's insane what happens in our world at the moment. But even just that too, it sets a bad precedent that you can, like, before the man that did it, because the same thing happened if somebody from a different country came over here and done it, they probably would get off with it the same way as he did. But it sets a bad precedent. If somebody threatens to kill, it would hurt a child in any way, they should be going to prison. Simple as that. There's no ifs, there's no buts. Go to prison. Simple as that. Go to prison, stay in prison for a few years, and think about it, and then come out maybe a better man. And not, then we deal with you then too. But you get what I'm saying. And not even that. There's loads of other issues. But what I'm trying to say is this is bullshit. The government don't give a shit. Doesn't seem to care about children. Not to mention, there's children literally lying on the street homeless in emergency accommodation with no homes, nowhere to call home, doing their homework on the floor of a hotel room. So you sit there and tell me, is the government making child protection a priority? Because they have been there for the last 14 years, the majority of them, and they have fucking done nothing. Excuse my language, but we have to call a spade, because the mainstream media are not saying it. The people on North and South are not saying it. They don't want it. They're too afraid to say it. And that's the problem. So, where's the UFO guy was just here yesterday? Or was he yesterday? The other day, Tony? I don't know if I missed that. I probably missed stuff on the things. So apologies. But see, just to say to people, I can't move it up. You see the way it won't let me move up. I can only see this comedy and then I can move up any further than that. So I want to talk about Cavan St. Patrick's Day in 2025. Now, obviously, last year, Cavan was the only county in Ireland that didn't have a St. Patrick's Day, the main one in the town. So they're looking for €14,000 to run the St. Patrick's Day for every year. Now, first of all, members of the public can donate and stuff like that, and businesses and stuff like that. But this is the thing. This is the question I'm asking. And I'm asking of the councillors in Cavan. How come the council can't flip the bill? Because, as somebody says in the comments, and I'll show you in a second, this is a public event. This is for people to get together, a celebration of our Irishness, of our county, of all the good people of County Cavan, our fire brigade, take for example, our farmers, people who are important to society in Cavan, some of the defence forces, even just children to participate. It's a good social event for people to get out and about, elderly people to come out and to watch the parade and stuff. It's a cultural event. It's to represent our Irishness, our traditions, etc., etc. What's good about Cavan, all the good people of Cavan in the parade and stuff like that, who are full of community spirit and stuff like that. Why is the government and Cavan County Council particularly not funding this? It should not be up to the taxpayer, or not the taxpayer, but it should not be up to the only Joe who is struggling to pay the bills, who's struggling to pay the bills, pay the electricity bill, pay the rent, etc., etc. It should not be up to the only Cavan Joe to pay the money. Simple as that. In my humble opinion, and I go, and I say that because this government are saying there's hundreds of billions of euros, that much money, we don't know what to do with it. Why can that not happen? Oh, in better theory, just hear me out. All the county councillors in Cavan give up their expenses because the expenses is about nearly over $1 million a year. If all the county councillors give up some of their allowances, or some of the TDs, the members of the Oireachtas and Dáil Éireann for Cavan and Monaghan, give up their allowance, that money could go towards it. Just as a perfect example, because we always hear about these councillors and etc. etc. We always hear our TDs in Cavan saying it's all about the community. The community is important, And then when push comes to shove, this, last year there was no community. I didn't see community. None of the politicians said, "Oh, we give up our paychecks to pay for it to go ahead." None of them did. So there's lots of questions about that. I don't know, but it is that. It would that's probably an average. It used to be about 10,000 or so, but you know what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say, the council should pay for it. The government should be paying for it, not the only Cavan person. And it's a disgrace, and it is a disgrace that last year it didn't go ahead. It is a disgrace. I say it. Because we're the only place that didn't go ahead. And I just want to put to one attention here. Because I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more with this, and I probably will make a video on it. Because it is a political event, not a political event, but a social event for people to come out, children to enjoy themselves, to represent the good people of County Cavan, a representation, of the Fire Brigade, the people, all the work they do throughout the year, some of the members of the Defence Forces, former members of the Defence Forces, even just children and stuff like that, just to celebrate. It's a bit of fun, because unfortunately there's not enough to do in the county. This comment pretty much hits the nail on the head, in terms of it. Because really, I sit down and not argue. Cavan Town is a joke, or at least the county council is. The parade should have been, a Christmas tree light, nothing but to uplift the spirits of locals. And that's the truth. I can't tell you the amount of young people, particularly, who have said to me that there's nothing to uplift their spirits. Everything's down and dirt in Cavan. There's nothing to do. There's nothing for young people to do. They have nothing to do. They have nothing to do at all. The only thing is to emigrate. They have no ambition of achieving anything or into that. There's nothing. Years ago there was meaning. There's no meaning pretty much in this county now, unfortunately. Nothing to do for kids, as it says. Belong in the main town. Our main town is a joke. There's no museums, so there's nothing for people to do, etc., etc. But we can do so much more, and this is the thing that upsets me. We can do so much more, and I'm sure all the councillors know that, but there's no will to do it. We can do so much more as a county. We can do so much more as Cavan, but we need to have the will, and particularly the highest level, our councillors, our TDs, they have no will. They have no will. They're too afraid to do anything. Simple as that. But we have so much potential in our county. We don't use our potential to our advantage. We simply don't. We have so much potential as Cavan people. We don't do it. We're neglecting that aspect. But yeah, this is a perfect example. This hits the nail. The council should be doing it. Simple as that. It's not up. It shouldn't be up to only members of the public to sort it out. It shouldn't be, because again, people do this voluntary. You have to sort it out, etc., etc. But it shouldn't be up to members of the public to donate. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It should be the government. Simple as that. Because it is a representation of Irishness, Irish heritage, our tradition, county tradition, particularly, and it should be up to the state to pay it. Simple as that. The Irish taxpayer, because it shouldn't be up to your people. And again, this is the thing. A lot of people were disappointed with the abandoning the parade last year. But again, this is what I'm saying. It should be up to the state to do it. It should be the county council. And I firmly believe that. It should be up to the county council to organise it, the local authority to organise it. But it was a disgrace. And I have to say to every council that sat on Cavan County Council last year, it was a disgrace that nothing was done and that they didn't go ahead. It was a disgrace. It was a disgrace that it was allowed that was allowed to happen. And I don't blame the people who the only person that's given up their time to sort it out. It's not their fault. It should be people on the local authority doing it. That's my opinion on it. Uh, yeah, local business are advertising stuff, but you get my point. I think this is just even to organise and stuff like that. It's causing that. Uh, Putting a few back. It all takes money, no? It does all cost money. But what I'm trying to say is not fair on you and I. We have our rent to pay, we have our bills to pay. To ask them to pay, it should be up to the local charity or taken out of the public purse, because it is it is a public event. Like it should be, and the council should be organising it because it is the public event. It's the promote business, people getting out and about and enjoying themselves, and that's what it's all about. It's all about community, as Sana Mowan said, and I keep saying it. And this is the thing, and I think all the councillors should probably been there listening around, because I think she has more wisdom than any of them on Cavan County Council. The only one I would say in exception, the only person I would say in exception that has some kind of is some kind of good, like is a good councillor. Not some, she is a good councillor. Is Councillor Sarah Wiley. She's the pick of them all in Cavan County Council. Like she is the pick of them all. She's the best of them all, Sarah Wiley. And I say that straight. But they should listen to Sandra because it's all about people. It's all about socialization. It's all about people. And that's what it's about. It's about people, getting people out of the house, getting elderly people out, getting young people out to enjoy the day. Enjoy, because again, enjoy it. Enjoy your county, enjoy your main town in Cavan. That's what it should be. People should be proud to be from Cavan on St. Patrick's Day. They should be proud to be in our county town. They should be proud to see our parade in Cavan, all that's good about our county. To show it off to the world that we are Cavan people and we're so proud of our Cavan. We have so much potential that we don't take advantage of and that we don't recognise. But again, unfortunately, the people that sit on the top of our county council don't recognise that. They don't recognise the potential because we have so much potential as a county. We just don't. We can't find it. We simply can't find it in our soul to bring it out and to motivate people and stuff. And again, that's what Sandra said. It's about motivating people, and we truly do. And that comes from the top down. And that's truly it. Because it is all about people, and that's what it is about. The people of Cavan, and it truly is. That's what St. Patrick's Day is about. And it's up to it's the people of Cavan, and it should be a nice day for people to celebrate with their families, with their friends, etc., etc. Our Irishness, our tradition, our county, our culture, etc., etc. It's simple as that, and that's what I deem it as. And too bad Santa Mound is not on Cavan County Council. That's all I say, because it is truly all about people. It's not about business. It's not about money. It shouldn't be about money. This profit, all that. It's about people. Celebration, celebrating our tradition, celebrating our county. That is the thing. It's not about. It shouldn't be about profit. There should be no talk about profit. It's about people. It's about celebrating us as the people of Cavan. Every one of us as people of Cavan, and that's what St. Patrick's Day should be. And above all, St. Patrick itself too. But again, St. Patrick's Day is a great example to show off to everybody the goodness of our county and the greatness of our county, and it's not used to its full potential. It's simple as that. And I say that to every one of the councils, and you have to kind of up your game on this. And I would say to you, the person we should get to advise us on how to care about people. Because again, at the end of the day, as a county council, as a local authority, the main thing is about people. And I say this even any county council and any councillor. It's about people. Nothing else matters. It's people. And Santa Mountain is truly right. And if we had somebody like that in Cavan County Council or in Monaghan County Council, we would be a far better local authority. If we had somebody like that, the main goal is people. Simple as that. That's what it is. It's about representing the people. It's about looking after the people, making sure that we have their best interest at heart. It's simple as that. But yeah, we should see for that. But no, but it is true. Like she's right in saying that. Like she's 100% right. It is about people, and I can't emphasize this enough. It's not about the money. The voting, it doesn't matter to me. It's about people. It's a people event. It's for people to come out of their house and celebrate, enjoy themselves. And, that's what I'm saying. That's what St. Patrick's Day is about. It's a social event for older people that don't get out, to get out maybe once a year, to go to watch the St. Patrick's Day parade, to see the people they knew from school and stuff like that. That's what it's about. That's what life's all about. Meeting people, talking to people, going into business, enjoying themselves. And that's what it should be about. Not about all this and yada, 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 yada. And unfortunately, that didn't happen last year. And that's what it's about. I generally take, and I say this straight to every council, that we should employ Santa Mowan as an advisor to our county. We should generally do it, because I do think she has not a great knowledge in terms of that. Because it is about people. Like, that's the way I see it. Grandparents were from Buttersbridge before moving to Cork. Maybe folks, you probably know a lot of them, yeah. My father, he's doing great now. He went out for a long walk there the other day. We went out for an hour for a walk. So he's doing well. He's able to walk around and stuff, which is great to see. Because when he was on the ground that time, I didn't think he'd ever be getting back up. But it's great to see that he's out walking about. But not even that. I used to go in when I was younger to the parades. Don't go into them now. But what I'm trying to say, you've seen your friends from school. Just the last point in this, you've seen your friends from school. You're able to talk to them and free sweets and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying, and seeing the fire brigades and stuff and the tractors and stuff. It's probably like for children particularly and for elderly people, it's such a great thing. It's such a great thing for young children to go and see parades, the fire brigade, going into the fire brigade for a drive around and stuff like that. Like it's priceless. It is priceless to see the joy on a child's face, and I think that's the main thing. It's about joy, and it's about people. It is truly about people, and I do say the councillors take that on board because I think that's the main thing. Because I think we've lost purpose, not in just terms, in just generally in Cavan. I think we've lost purpose on what we should be doing in terms of government, etc., etc. That it's all about people. It's all about making sure the people of Cavan are happy, are content, are looked after. I think it's all just nowadays we've lost our focus. We're too busy thinking about other stuff. We should be thinking about our people. Simple as that. Simple as that. And that's what's wrong with Cavan. We're not focusing on looking after our people. We're focused on the issues. We're focusing on things that are ludicrous in the way. But anyway, we could go on for hours. But that's what I deem that the county is. Not the way it should be. Years ago, there was more pride in our county. We have to find that. We have to bring back our pride in our county. That's what I'm trying to say. Because that's what it starts. It's about people. It's about motivating people. And that's what it is. And it comes from the top down, from the councillors, the elected officials of Cavan County Council, to the TDs, the members of the Oireachtas, etc., etc. That's what it is about. And that's what I deem it as. Not just in Cavan, but I'm just saying for Cavan, because Cavan didn't have a parade. So hopefully it goes ahead this year. I could talk more about it, but that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, no, it's insane too. I thought it was quite high, just saying, going back to Biden's point. But it would be about that. It always was about 10,000 around that. Yeah, it was about that. Because I remember one person one time from the committee, he's retired now from the committee, but he said it was an awful amount of money. And it's an awful lot of money for one day. It is an awful lot of money too when you really think about it. Especially asking the only Joes to donate and stuff like that. Like I know the businesses will give so much towards and stuff, but they really shouldn't have to. They pay enough in tax and stuff. It should be paid for by the local authority in taxes. Oh, I don't know, but see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not a part of the committee, but I remember him saying it was something like that. That's what I'm trying to say. So I couldn't tell you about, because this is like the people that are organising the members, not the local authority. That's what I'm saying. The local authority should be civil servants. It is private individuals. They're giving up their time. Last year, the reason why, because there was not enough people to organise it. Because they're not getting paid. They're not getting paid to organise it. They're volunteering, and that's what I'm saying, to give up their time and stuff. But you get what I'm saying. I could go on and on and on. But I don't think there was anything. I don't think there's any. But we see what happens. If it does go ahead, we don't know. It probably it's 50-50. Probably will go ahead. No, we're not good at that. So yeah, so the way I was waiting about 4 hours for an ambulance to come for my father, and that he was waiting now in an ambulance outside Cavan General Hospital, and that there's people waiting on trolleys in Cavan General Hospital. With all the money's going towards gender neutral toilets. Yes. The HSC's literally collapsing. People are dying on hospital trolleys. People are dying waiting for ambulances. But don't worry, we have gender neutral toilets. We spend thousands on them. So that's what they're doing. So it's absolutely ludicrous. It's fucking ludicrous. Excuse my language, I'll probably get banned for this, but look, it is ludicrous. There's only two toilets, a man's toilet and a woman's toilet. Simple. There's no in between. Maybe a disabled toilet. But gender neutral toilets, like, for fuck's sake, excuse my language, but the HSE shouldn't be spending money on this kind of carry on. Simple as that. Simple as that. They should be more worried about getting people to the hospital if they're dying, getting people a bed, instead of spending money on this kind of shenanigans. Because I don't pay my taxes for this. Simple as that. It's either you go to the men's toilet, you go to the women's toilet. Pick one or the other. Simple as that. There shouldn't be one in between, and one for disabled people, of course. But it's stupid shit. Excuse my language, but it's stupid shit. Excuse my language, because again, this is the taxpayer has to flip the bill for this. It's stupid. I support gender neutral toilets. Well, some people probably do, but I think it's stupid. Um, to be totally honest. We have toilets. Yeah, obviously, no toilets, but gender neutral toilets. I was brought up, either there's a man's toilet or a women's toilet. Preferably, you go into the men's toilet when you're a man, and preferably you go into the women's toilet when you're a woman. Simple as. And the same if you're the same person, you have a separate toilet. No, very controversial and stuff, far right, extremist, etc., etc. But that's just the way it is. The way it is, simple as that. Women go into the women's toilet, and men goes into the men's toilet. There's no in between. There really shouldn't be, apart from the disabled people. And I know that's very controversial. Probably get arrested for that. And actually wants to know my location. Um, so drug gangs are going rapid. As I said to you, there was about a ton of drugs, like literally a ton of drugs, off a mothership, which is a big container ship, basically fucked into Kerry. Now this is great, and you're probably wondering why this is happening. That's because there's no navy, so there's literally no navy ships to stop this. So pretty much, long story short, the drugs can just pile into the country because there's not even a navy ship. There's no navy ship to be found, and the guns in the navy ships don't work. So lovely. So if you add two and two together, you get four, and this is the thing. So yeah, so basically, long story short, this is going to continue. There's nothing ever going to be solved about it. But it's good that they detained a few people off the coast just recently in Kerry. But this is happening every day. Big container ships are off the coast of our shores, getting into dinghies with drugs and stuff and bringing them onto shore. And nothing's ever going to be done about it, unfortunately, because there's no navy. There's nothing to stop them from doing it. So it's insane. It's insane to think about, but sure, look. But yeah, no, that's just my opinion on the titles. I know some people would disagree and stuff like that, but look at it. I think it's ludicrous. So yeah, this is a big controversy that's happening at the moment. So Danny Healy-Rae and I think Michael Healy, the Rural Independents, they're crying that they want to sit in the opposition bench. So they are part of the government, but they want to sit in the opposition side, which is fucking stupid. Either you're in the government or you're in the opposition. Pick one of the two. You shouldn't be wanting to sit in the opposition side if you're part of the government. You should sit in the government side. Uh, and I think they're just trying to fool the people. I think that's all they're trying to do here, fool people. To be totally honest, like sit in the government side and be done with it, and whatever. Uh, but they're wanting the opposition speaking time now. So do you know the way the government has their time to speak and raise issues, etc., etc. The government TDs, they want their time out of the opposition time. As I say here, they want to get the opposition time, speaking time. So even though a part of the government, which is fucking stupid, either you're a part of the government, either you want to be in the government, or either you don't want to be in the government. Pick one of the two. Don't dilly dally around. This is just fucking senseless. Carry on. Like I think they're just like it's all about just fooling the people, in my opinion, what they're doing here. Like they just want to fool people. Uh, that's what I deem it as. Because like you already made a deal with the government, sit on the government benches and sit there. Um, it's just senseless. It's just nonsensical stuff. Um, no, but that's like I suppose I'm backwards a bit in that, but that's the way I see it because it's pretty stupid in a way. That's the way I look at it. But yeah. So Pfizer too is crying at the moment. They're saying they're going to leave Ireland. I'm sure they will because they pay no tax here and stuff like that. They're getting offered more though in this country when Trump's not paying any tax, etc., etc. So they're all crying and upset and all that. But let's be fair, they're going to stay in this country. They have big factories here producing vaccines, etc., etc. They're not going to just up and leave. To be totally honest, so that's just idle threats. To be totally honest. So there'd be not much addition if they did leave, but but you know what I'm saying. So it's pretty much it's all like because again they get a few, but basically the politicians will give them a few thousand euro, and they take again a few million euro. There'll be a few bob slipped underneath the table, and this will be forgotten about. Let's put it that way. Pfizer will give the Irish government a few bob, and this will be quite this ban will be quietly forgotten about, and because that's what's happened. The corporations pretty much run the government. They give the politicians loads of money, and the money speaks for itself. To save water, yeah. Give me 2 seconds. Oh. Sorry about that. Apologies. How many Santas do you count on the screen? Literally no Santas on the screen. Just coincidentally, when you were speaking with Santa, like this is the few majority people in Finland. Like this is what everybody's pretty much saying. Something is seriously wrong when our society is broke. If the former prime minister of Finland has to apply for restraining order instead of the foreigner serial harasser, that's what many people call serial harasser, being deported, to the country of his oranges. And that's true. Like there's something seriously wrong. That she had to, like the first Finnish prime minister or Finnish president or anything, to having to go and look for a restraining order. She shouldn't have to in the first place. She should have been sent home. Like everybody nearly agrees with that universally, especially because it's not his first time. So he's not any addition to anybody. So what I'm trying to say, he should have been sent home straight away. And everybody agrees with that. As you can see here, a lot of people agree. And there's many tweets like it with thousands of likes. There's one tweet with 6,000 likes that pretty much says he should have been sent home from as soon as he committed the first crime. And so he should have. He should have never been able to do this in the first place. Like everybody agrees with this. Like he shouldn't. That's what the deportation system's out for. Simple as. Geez, that's nice just to go randomly and ask people. What was this to do with? This was this is to do with the feds. But as I said about the thing. But Senator Mount did it because again it was about the future of work, etc., etc. And she raised the good thing, and I have to say, the one thing she said, like over here, if you ever mentioned the 4-day work week, they're like, oh, there'll be no money, we won't be making any money and stuff like that. But I have to say, like Sana Mount is very right. Like she is really, really right in what she said. As a social democrat, I say work as more meaning than just making a living. It brings meaning to life, and I can't tell you how. Like when you really sit down and think about it. Thinking about my job and stuff like that I have. If I didn't have my job, what would I do? What would I do with myself? I'd probably do my housework and stuff. But if I didn't have my job, what would I do? What meaning does it bring? It does give me purpose because I get up in the morning, Monday to Friday. I get up early to go to work, get ready to go to work and stuff like that. It does give you purpose. It gives you something to do, something to go with. It gives you a routine. And it does, and I have to say, it really, really does. Like she is really, really right. It's not just about you obviously make a living, you make money from it, etc., etc. But it does give you a purpose. Like I actually never heard. I have to say, I'm actually very proud of Santa Mountain because I never actually heard of any politician ever come along and say that usually even myself before I often would say you have to contribute to society, and so you do. You have to kind of contribute some way to society, even if it's only working part time or even full time, whatever the story may be. If you worked a few hours a day, whatever, give or take, you contribute in some small way to society, or you go to college or something like that. You contribute some way to society in terms of paying for stuff, etc., etc. I think everybody agrees with that. Everybody agrees with that bit. But and obviously making a living for yourself too. It's important that you can stand on your own 2 feet, etc., etc., etc. But she is right in saying it's not even that. It does bring meaning to an individual to have something to do, like to have work, to have a livelihood. It does bring meaning to life. It does bring a purpose. You have a purpose. You have a job to do, regardless of what job you have. If it's cleaning the streets like myself, it brings purpose. It does bring purpose because you're doing a job, you're doing a service. If you're working in a factory, you're making stuff, you're producing stuff. If you work in a shop, you're providing essential goods to people. It does bring meaning to life. It does. Like in fairness, that's actually one of the best things I ever heard a politician say in my life. Because usually it's all about, oh, you have to contribute to society and stuff like that, and all that. Um, all that kind of carry on, and work. But like it is really true. Like when you really sit down and think about it, she's 100% right. It does bring meaning to life. Um, it really does, and I think everybody can agree with that. When you deep down in any job, every job that you have, or if you have a job or whatever the story may be, like it does give you a purpose. You get up early in the morning, or you go to work, etc., etc. You have a routine and stuff like that. It gives you purpose. It really, truly does. Because I couldn't imagine if I didn't have a job, what would I do for from that time of day and stuff like that? What would I do with myself all that week? Like sit down in my house and do nothing. Or what would I do? So it does give you a purpose. It really does, and I do think this is one of the most truest statements any politician's ever said. Because it does, it truly does. Like deep down, it does really bring meaning to people's life. It does for me. Like I never thought of it until today, until I heard about it when Santa Mountain speaking. Like it does really, it really does. When you really sit down and think about it. And I did do that after Hot Santa Mountain. I was like, she's actually correct. Like actually looking deep down and thinking about it. It really does, and I agree with 100%. It does give you a purpose in life. It gives you a purpose to move towards, a direction to move towards. It gives you a reason to keep going. And as human beings, you have to find a reason to get up in the morning. And that's the truth. You have to find the will to get up. And it's true to say that. What do we take? What do we think about that? Do we think right? Do we think she's wrong? What do we think? Well, obviously not wrong. Of course not. Nobody would say she's wrong because we just happen to have the ban button ready. If you do, I'm only joking. We're not do that. We're not that bad. I missed the comment. I think. Oh, it's Aaron only. Yeah, we're talking about Gaddafi. So. So yeah, we were talking about Gaddafi. Yeah. But I do think she's right in saying that. Like, I have to say, I do think she is right in what she said, because it is the like, even though people will not want to admit it, etc., etc. Like deep down, it is right. Like it does give you purpose, walking and stuff like that. Not only for you get money from it, and etc., etc. But it does give you a reason to get up in the morning and to go and do routine, etc., etc. And it is true. Like it is true. Um, um, I seen the first one, not the second one. I seen a bit of the first one. Um, I'll just talk. um, let me see. Hello, GGG. How we doing? It's been a good while. I don't think you've been here since before Christmas or so. How's your new year going? Happy New Year to you. I don't think you've been here. I don't think so. I know. I might be wrong in saying that, but how are you doing? Hope we're having a good New Year so far. I think I might be wrong. Long time no see. It must be the beginning of December or so. It must be, or maybe even November. I can't even remember, but I remember it's a good while. I know. Sorry, I missed the good thing. I know what you're saying, but it does kind of give you a purpose. But because if you didn't have that job, what would you do? I suppose that's what I'm saying. Like it gives you meaning, I suppose, to life. It does kind of like even thinking about myself. If I didn't have my job, what would I do with them hours? You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't have a purpose. Not just not an income or something, but you wouldn't have a really a purpose. Oh, I know what you're saying to that. We got the other statement here. I know what you're saying, but it does kind of give you a purpose because you have to remember if you didn't have a job, what would you do with your time? I suppose. Like a lot of people that's retired, they don't know what to do with the time because they have no work, they've nothing to dedicate themselves to. Do you get what I'm coming from? I can understand about what you're saying. I think deep down everybody can understand it. That it does with you, even if you have a shitty job, um, you get what I'm saying. You have some kind of purpose, you know, like to get you up in the morning, etc., etc. Even though people hate work, etc., etc., and stuff like that. Like for me, it does kind of give me purpose. Like thinking about it, I never thought about it until Sandra Mountain said about it today, but it does. Like when you really, really sit down and think about it, it does. Um, Even if you don't, it's not the best thing. You could be doing better things or stuff like that. It's still something. You're doing something. To do with the time. Which, so you mean employers? Is that what you mean? But no, it kind of does. Like having a job, it does give you purpose. Like for me, it does. Thinking about it, I never thought about it until today. It kind of does, and I did sit there and think about it for like literally an hour. I literally before I started streaming, I did kind of sit here and think about it. And she is right. I didn't. I never really thought of it that way before. Like I've always said it before. I've said it many times on videos and stuff. Like it's important to have a job to contribute to society, to be a part of society and stuff. I've said that, and I do believe that. But it is true what she said too. That you have some kind of purpose. That you're not just nothing. I suppose that you have some kind of purpose regardless of what you do. It does give you a purpose to get up in the morning, and it is true. Because at the end of the day, if I didn't have a purpose, like say Monday morning, I wouldn't be getting up at 6 or 5 o'clock to go to work at 8 o'clock. You wouldn't have a purpose; you'd be still in your bed, pretty much. You get what I'm saying. So it does really get you up and to do something. It gives you some kind of meaning in life. In a way, and a lot of people probably don't find it, but it does kind of when you really sit down and think about it for a few minutes, it does. And I never thought about it until Sandman said about it today, and it is true. Like it's not because I after thinking about it, it does seem true. Right, employer. Oh, I know that, but you get what I'm saying that you have a purpose of getting up. You know, um, you know. But basically, what that whole thing was about there was about you know people working too much, too long of hours, and I think people can agree with that. And people should have more time for their own leisure and stuff. That's what that whole conference there was about. It was about people should have more time for themselves instead of walking away, like walking, as everyone only just said, working for a house that you can never own. So why would you work, say, a 40-hour week when you could work a 35-hour week or a 30-hour week? Even though you never own it, you get paid the same amount. But you get what I'm saying? And that's just the thing. Because people, like if you look at anybody, the majority of people's lives are taken up either by work, is work. Like say, the majority of people work 9 to 5, pretty much. So half of the day is gone already when you get home in the evening and you cook your dinner and stuff. Half of the day is gone. Then, not to mention the majority of your life too. I think it was 25% or 30% of your life is sleep. You're sleeping. Half the time you're sleeping in life. So 30% of your life is sleeping. Think about that for a second. And then say probably for all your working life, maybe 40% of it's work. So nearly probably maybe 80% of your life is work and sleep. And there's nothing really in between. That's what I'm trying to say. And she is right. Like she was the only prime minister, in the world to say that people should have more time with their families, etc., etc., more time to spend doing hobbies, etc., etc. And she is right in saying that. Think like years ago, people worked like dogs. Like long, long hours in the mines, etc., etc. Like it's a different world now, and it should be different. The people don't have to walk their lives away, walk to the drop dead. And that's the thing that's happening, unfortunately, in the Western world. That people have been walked to death. To pay a mortgage that they can never pay, and things like that. So, they shouldn't have to work all their lives, pretty much what I'm trying to say. Like, work literally 40 hours a week, it should be at least 30 or so, but, even 24 hours or something like that, 6 hours a day or something like that. But I do think it does give purpose. It does make people more productive. So there's many studies saying about it. It makes people more productive in the economy. Because again, I'm sure you can know by yourself. I admit myself when a Thursday or Wednesday comes around, the beginning of the week I'm all right. I'm good physically able to go and do things. But when the end of the week comes around, you just want it to kind of be over. You get what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying? Like in that regard, like even at school and stuff, people are just dead on a Thursday because they're just too tired after it all. Like it is the truth, but like it is the truth, and I truly believe in that too. Because how many, and when particularly I look at it this way, particularly when it comes to work-life balance and stuff like that I can't tell you how many young people in their 30s and the 40s and stuff like that just drop dead, never to come back. Basically, what I'm trying to say is life is too short. It is true, too short, and I think people spend too much time, walking too much. Than just enjoying life. And I think too many people, and again, it's only when we're on our deathbeds that we sit there and say, "Oh, I should have done this," and I should have done that, and I should have spent more time with my family. Oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. The only reason why I didn't do it because I was working. I had to work long hours. I had to do this and I had to do that. And that's what I'm saying, because again, it's about people, and it is to go back to people. It's all about people, spending more time with people, enjoying your life. Because at the end of the day, we're only here on a holiday. And that's the thing, we don't know when the holiday will end, unfortunately. And it is about relationships, of course, too, and all that. But you get what I'm saying. But I'm not saying nobody has to work or anything. But a 24-hour work week, a 30-hour work week at least. But I think 40 is a bit too much in the modern times. And again, more people are productive. Like many people would more be productive because they would have more energy to spend on working, etc., etc. Outside of your job, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in your own time too, you could do your own meaningful work. Yeah. But as everyone only just said too, a lot of people feel meaningless going to work. They don't enjoy it. And it was said in the conference too that I went to that people don't enjoy work. Years ago, people enjoyed work. They enjoyed going to work for the crack, for a bit of fun. Things were hard, but people enjoyed it. Wouldn't dreading it. Like I can't tell you the amount of people I know that dread every morning going to work and stuff like that. And you should enjoy it because you should really enjoy it. That's because they work too much. Like I can't tell you the amount of people I know in offices that are working and they work to the bone. And then when they come home and they even have emails to answer and so. So basically, when they finish work during the 5 o'clock, they still have to work until about 8 o'clock, writing up emails and doing that. That's what I'm saying. Work has gone too much, pretty much. It's like endless. There's no time for yourself. If that makes any sense. But yeah, that's no. But I do take happiness too. It does increase that because um, other countries have done this, like a few hour work week, etc., etc. And it's improved happiness, etc., etc. Because people have more time to spend on the hobbies, things they like doing. Because some people like their job and some people don't. But again, as I always say, find a job that suits you. Don't just go for any job. Find a job that you like. Most jobs are meaningless, yeah, but unfortunately, it has to. It shouldn't be that way. That's what I'm saying. If people work part of that, say it was from 40 hours down to 30 hours or something like that, or even 25 hours a week. Um, people wouldn't have to work that meaningless job for they save some time and be able to enjoy their life a bit more and do things they like. That's what I'm saying. Even though they don't get paid the same amount as they did, but people would be more productive then, and that would save a lot of people too. Because I can't tell you the amount of people who probably would say, like, take for example, they don't enjoy their job if they got more time at home and stuff, more time to enjoy themselves, and only had a few hour work days. Say they had 6 hours a day instead of 8 hours. Even them 2 hours, they could go off and do something fun. That's what I'm saying. Or spend time with their children, spend time with them, especially if you have children too. That's what I'm saying. Like I think anybody would agree, instead of going to work, is them 2 hours that they get off. If they had 6 hours day, take for example, they would spend it with their children, enjoying life and stuff like that. But that's what I think. I think life is too short, and I do agree with Sana on it, because that's why I changed my opinion of it all. Because I used to be back in the day, like work is important. We should work as much as we can and stuff like that to keep the economy going and all that. That's what I would have been like 6 years ago. Like I would have been like that. We should all walk until we drop dead, you know. Um, like it's a different world than what it was back years ago, and it's true. Like people need their own time, you know. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I meet I meet many people every day, and they're saying the same thing. They're not going anywhere. They're just in the same spot over and over again. I get what you're saying. I know 100% as a young person too. I know what you're saying. But that's what I'm saying. It would give people more meaning. If they had less time, say you had less time in your job, say just for argument's sake, say you work a 40-hour week or 45, argument's sake, just for argument's right. And right in the morning, the government came along and said, you know what? We're going down to a 30-hour work week. It'd be a bit more. You save 10 hours maybe, or maybe more, 15 hours a week. In that 15 hours, you could do something else. You would have more energy then. You can go to bed earlier or whatever the case may be. Go to the cinema more, go walk out more, go to the gym more, work on yourself, spend time with your family, things like that. Because I can't tell you the amount of funerals I've been at, particularly just in terms of relationships and stuff. I can't tell you the amount of times I've went to funerals and stuff. And I've always heard the same thing over and over and over again. I should have spent more time with my father. I should have spent more time with my mother. I should have spent more time with my daughter. I should have spent more time. That's what I hear. And I'm sure everybody hears it all the time. I should have spent more time with them. The regret of not spending enough time with people because I have work and stuff like that, and things. And again, life is a gift, and I do think that it's life shouldn't always be about work, and particularly nowadays, as I say, but people I know that work in offices, after they come home and even the work's not finished, they have to write up emails and do things. So after they finish getting paid for the day, they have to come home and do a whole lot, and then they have to do the housework. It's a lot of work. Yeah, but that's what I say to people. Yeah, like, for different people, meaningful jobs mean different things. Like that's what I always say to people: do something you like. I know that sounds easier said than done, but find something that you like to do. Try stuff, different things, but do something you like. You like, don't go into a farm if you don't like a farm walk. If that makes any sense. If you're not like don't like the outdoors or something, find something you like. That's always what I say to people. I know it's hard to do, and if you need a degree and stuff like that, but do find something that you're interested in. If it's gaming or something, that is go on to be gaming or a journalist, game journalist or something. Because that gives you meaning because you actively like doing what you do. Like I can't tell the amount of people who I know that got a job doing what they like and they're happy doing it because they know a lot about it. Take for example, if I was an advisor for Sana Mountain, I would enjoy that because I know a lot about Sana Mountain. I know what I know the way she thinks, I suppose, in a lot of her girls and stuff like that. So I could advise her very good if that makes any sense in terms of that and different things. Um, oh, politics or diplomacy or anything like that. That's what I was. If I was going to go for something, take for example, more than what I'm doing at the moment, but I'm happy out doing what I'm doing at the moment. So I'm not really in any mood, not really in any hurry to change that. To be totally honest, even though many people consider this what I'm doing the most mindless thing imaginable, just going around brushing and sweeping up, doing them kind of things, picking up dog shit. They would consider that the lowest of the lowest. Like you couldn't go any lower than that. Like the most mindless thing, you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, pretty much nearly every day. But it is an important job for the community, for people, for the public. Um, you get what I'm saying? Um, But again, when you like doing something, when you're happy doing it, even though you don't get paid much or whatever the story about, but as long as you're happy doing it, you enjoy being there. Because again, at the end of the day, the worst thing I find, if you're watching the clock every 10 minutes, waiting for the time to pass, that's the worst thing. You can't be wishing your life away. Or I wish the day would be finished. You get what I'm saying? I can't tell you the amount of people who say that, in jobs and stuff, that I wish the day would be finished. I wish we would get home. That they're wishing their lives away. And because they don't like the job and stuff like that, but they should find something they like, they're interested. If it's a garden, I take for example, you could get a job doing cleaning up gardens, cutting lawns, stuff like that. Something that you like, Again, going for something that you don't like or you think it's meaningless, it's senseless doing that. But that's why you should put your energy towards something that you like, even though you might have to go to college for it and stuff like that. Go to college, get the degree. If you like what you do and you know a good bit about it in your own personal time, take for example, for argument's sake, you like software, you like computing. Like take for example, you go to college, you get a degree in computing and stuff. Because I guess again, take for example, you have a computer at home. You often do look up the news and the new software, or you do computing yourself. You do software yourself in your own personal time. You already know a good bit to start off, so you have the foundations, and you can build up from there. That's what I'm saying. And not to use the foundations is a sin, particularly if you're interested in something, stuff. You should use the foundations that you have to build up because the only way is up. It's not down. Um, but that's the way I see it. But again, the main thing, I suppose, in the whole of this, because I think we're going a bit off focus a small bit, and well, I'm probably going off focus a bit. The main thing should be that you enjoy life. Like I think that, and it's all about people. It is all about people. Um, and that's what I take it as. That's what I take it as. But people should have more time for themselves, because life has changed a lot since even the 60s, and when people walk themselves to death, like that shouldn't be the case nowadays. It's an entirely different world now. People should work hard, of course, but they shouldn't have to walk themselves into the ground. Because I can't tell you, probably young people have died walking themselves into the ground for a thing they could never afford. When they should just walk in, a few hours a day or something like that, and spend time with the family and the friends and stuff and enjoy life. Because again, at the end of the day, the main purpose of life is to enjoy, to enjoy life, the moment you're here, for the time you're here. suck for your soul, yeah. But no, that's what I say to people. That's my advice to people. If you're interested in stuff, uh, always go for something like that. That's what I'm saying. Like say for example, Tony, if you're interested in cooking, you become a cook or a chef. You could be working for Mike at the Higgins oven, that of us. But you get what I'm saying. If you already know stuff about it before, if you do cooking in your personal time, outside of work and stuff, or even before when you're even at school, from a young age, you were interested in cooking and stuff. You have the foundations. You have the foundations. You know the basics. You could start. You know your stuff before you even go into college. You know the basic stuff. Then you can build up. That's what I'm saying. But I do think people need more work-life balance because things have changed. Particularly if you have family. I know so many people too have children and stuff like that. It's not easy being a parent nowadays. It's a long job and being going to work. If you have a job along with looking after children, we take our lives so hard. Imagine that having to look after a child and go to work at the same time. It's impossible. Imagine you have no time for yourself. And that's why I take work-life balance, and that's why I would say what Sana said, 6 hour days. I think that 24 hours a day, 24, not 24 hours a day. No, that's too much. 24-hour work week, 24-hour work week. So 6 hours a day. And I think Friday's off. Yeah, Friday's off. So it'll be 6 hours a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's what I take within Friday's off too. That's what I take. Or even just 4 day week, just a full 4 day week and a Friday off. So 3 days break, basically. I don't know what people think, but I do think that's what be. And Santa Mount herself is pretty much the foot runner for that. So, but what I'm trying to say, Santa Mount changed my mind on that because before I heard Santa Mount speak about it, to be totally honest, I wasn't in that mindset about you know. No, not 24 hours a day, but 24-hour work week. So 6 hours a day or something like that. Yeah, I know. My boss wouldn't be happy. um, but you know what I'm saying. But that's because you'd be more productive. You would be like I'm sure you know yourself if you worked an 8 hour day, take for example. Like I know myself, I speak for myself on this, but when you get to Thursday or when you get to Friday, you're dead. You're just wanting it to be over. You just want the week to be fucking over. Like at the beginning of the week, maybe Monday's always the worst day, but you always lost energy. People just like even see it in the couch myself here. Like people at the desks and stuff, they're just flitting away on a Friday, like they're barely awake on a Friday and Thursday. They're just wanting everything to be over. They just want the week to be over. You get what I'm saying? So why don't people use that energy, and you work less hours and to be more productive, more things will be done. And it's true, it has studies have shown it time and time again that people are more productive, there's more income, etc., because people are doing more than working long hours and half awake, half asleep, if that makes any sense. But I do think it's important, and because I would have said years ago, this is we shouldn't do that. People just are too lazy; they don't want to walk and stuff like that. But when you listen to Santa Mountain, like Santa Mountain changed my mind on this, I suppose, more than anybody else, because no Irish politicians bullshit. Like no Irish politicians talking this because they're all just bullshitting in Dáil, and they're all saying, "Oh, this we do this and we do that." Like basically, they're all just going in circles. The Irish politicians are just too much worried. Well, in Ireland, they're too much worried about profit. They don't give a shit about anybody. The Irish politicians, they're just all bullshitters. But it is true, like in what she's saying, and that changed my mind a lot back in 2019 and stuff like that. Like you would say to people, it's not the best. Like I do think people matter, as I say. Sandra Mountain said the other last week. Like I think that's the main thing. And I think that's the main thing of my life now. What she said. That nothing else matters as people. Simple as that. And it's the truth. It is the truth. Because at the end of the day, profit, you can't bring the profit with you. You can't bring the profit. You might get a nicer coffin, a nicer funeral, but you can't bring it with you. Like I know people even too that have passed away. They had thousands of euro in the bike, thousands and thousands of euro. It didn't save them. They couldn't bring it with them. Simple as that. They couldn't bring it with them. And that's the thing. Team fantasies. Yeah, but I'm not revolutionary team fantasy. I don't think this is a big stretch. Like even if we just went from, say for example, at the moment I work a 40-hour, well, half day and a Friday, so maybe 39, not 39 hours or so, 39. So say if we went from 39, just for argument's sake, the majority of people work 9 to 5, maybe half day and a Friday, but as I do. But just for argument's sake, if we go down to even 33 hours work week, right? Just from say 39 or 40 hour, it would make a huge difference. People have a bit more time in their hands and people be a bit more productive. But I would say what Sana Mount suggested is the 6 hour work day. So basically 24 hours for 4 days, I think. That's what she said. That's what I think. But it is an interesting conference they had, because I don't think anywhere else they had the conference talk about work-life balance. Yeah, 4 day week, but you work 6 hours. You work 6 hours. That's the only catch to it. So pretty much 24 hours a week instead of 40 hours, 24 hours. So you still work. Oh, for the civil service, yeah, we'll work for the civil service, of course. But no, I think all of the society do, but I know it'd be difficult to do in some parts of society. Well, I know Sean said it to me before, and I do agree. It will. But there's ways you could probably you could work it out if you tried to. But there's no will. There's no will here to do it. That's what I'm saying. There's no will to sort that out. But yeah, if we had somebody like Santa Mountain, we would be able to sort it out. But yeah, something like that, 6 hour days. Oh, something like that. People would have 2 hours a day extra, say if they walk to 9 to 5. With 2 hours, yeah, 6 hours, yeah, because the majority of people do 8 hours a day, yeah. So you have 2 hours to yourself, which is better than and you have less time to spend in the office or whatever. Which I do think she's right in what she's saying. Because you have to remember, she's the only prime minister or any head, head of any government that ever said, about that. Like no Irish politicians ever came out with that. So the main thing, the takeaway, it's all about people. That's what I do now. Also, you have to blame Santa Mountain for the change in my mindset, because beforehand, I used to think people are just too lazy, they don't want to walk and stuff. That's my mindset before I heard Santa Mountain talk about it. That's what I'm saying. See, to blame Santa Mountain for that, if ever get into politics here, I'd be pushing that too, of course. If I ever get into the local authorities and stuff like that, I'd be pushing that. So blame Santa Mountain for that, just to say. If I ever get into the Taoiseach's job or into that, you can blame Santa Mountain. How does that sound? Obviously, we will make it a crime if I get to the Taoiseach too to criticize Santa Mountain, of course. So we will imprison you about it, of course. Just to say, of course, we'd be democratic and free society and all that. Of course. Cancel. Sorry, just give me a moment. Now I don't know if the audio is working. This is probably a bit fucking shit. But this is what listen to this bit, like just this bit, because this is the only thing she said really about the the thing that's happened. Ooh. I don't know if you can hear it.
I don't think that in Finland we actually quite.
Oh, I can hear it. But I think she's right.
Understand what is happening in the world. For example, agreed tomorrow's headlines.
But what I'm trying to say is there. I think she's right in terms of this. I can't understand, as opposed to modernization, like all this new technologies and stuff that different things in the phones and stuff like that. And then not even you see in China, she's just about to say, it's quite insane how things have advanced since I was younger, and we're all in a new age of technology and things have advanced a lot. And I don't think we can comprehend. The majority of people can comprehend how things have advanced, and that's interesting.
But actually, if we look, for example, China or some of the players in the world, we are already seeing that, for example, factories are run with a minimum workforce because they are so optimized. And we don't I find that we don't quite understand the pace and the radical changes that is happening.
But she is right in one thing, that China is 50 years ahead of us in technology in terms of that. Because there's literally factories in China that literally are robots doing producing stuff. There's no human element to it. So she's literally right in that. Why are we talking about breakfast? We're all talking about data now. Jesus, this is nice.
Already, that has happened already. And I think that our discussion is stuck on 10, 20 years back. And if we don't
He's giving up breakfast for us. Yeah, construction
if we
workers
are not
live with
willing
breakfast for us.
to have this discussion, what is happening already elsewhere and what will happen here, I think our competitiveness will hurt a lot. You mentioned that it's not, it doesn't accumulate or correlate how much time do you spend on work and how well your economy is doing or how well your GDP is rising. And I think this is absolutely right. And this will be much more so even in the future.
So I don't know if anybody even listened to that at all. I think we're all, yeah. Did we learn anything in class today? Yeah, and things are getting smaller. Like if you buy stuff, I'm addicted to these now. I'm addicted to the buttons. Like years ago, I remember I got these as a child. They were big, huge, like big packet with loads of buttons. Like they were up to the fucking top. Nowadays, you barely get maybe 20 for a big packet, and this is €6 something or €5 something. Years ago, to be full up to the top, you barely could get the packet open because there was that many of them in it. Nowadays, €5, €6, you get about 20 of them. They're gone in 5 minutes. They're gone in about 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. That's what I'm saying. You barely see what was in them. If you open them, that's what I'm saying. And then the price has gone up. You're paid more for less. Doesn't make any sense. That's why we need Santa Mountain in charge of this country. She is sorted. But that's what I'm saying. But she is right. I don't know if you heard. Did you hear that conversation at all? Like, is that why he's like? Could you just hear it at all? What she was saying? Or were you just hearing me? Because I know it's not the best kind of fucking thing. The automated fucking thing. But she is right. China is literally 50 years in front of us in terms of technology and stuff like that. And I don't think we actually can comprehend the changes in the world, like the new technologies and stuff like that. Wasn't paying any attention. That's fucking great, Gordon. Excuse my language, but not listening to Santa Mountain. That's a disgrace. Oh no, that's not nice. No, but she's there. No, but like even like in the next few years, it'll be a big conversation. Work-life balance and stuff. So Santa Mountain be the first person to brought this up pretty much because pretty the first person, like the most major politician to bring it up. So you know what I'm saying. So in the next few years, when you hear about this, you can come back to this and say it was Santa Mountain that started all this. Getting replaced. I don't think any AI ever cleaned the streets. I don't think so. She's never seen such anti-Wedrick, anti-Sano Wedrick. Yeah. Thou shalt not criticize. Yeah, we have none of that. We won't accept that. Excuse me, sorry, apologies. No, just don't say that. Santa's not woke. What are you talking about? If you want to see woke, look at the Irish politicians. All of them are off the fucking trollops. Like if you ever want the definition of woke, just look at the Irish politicians. Like all of them are one of the same. No, Kamala Harris, just or at least Santa can actually say stuff in terms of stuff. Like it's all about people. Kamala Harris, I never hold Kamala Harris in her life ever say it's all about people. You get what I'm saying. Like Kamala Harris, no addition to anybody, has achieved nothing too. To be totally honest, age gap in which and what? Oh, and like you mean Donald Trump and Santa Mountain? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, Kamala Harris. Like you have to remember Santa Mountain is extremely young. He's only 39. You know, Irish investor. Yeah, please do. Yeah, well, hopefully she might go for the presidency. Like Kamala Harris is 60 something. Like good God, like Santa Mountain has done more. Like think about this for a second. Like even Irish politicians, just sit down and think about it. Listen for 2 seconds. Like even Leah Varadkar and people like Simon Harris, she's pretty much been there and done that already. So she's only 39 and pretty much was prime minister when she was 31. So think about that. So she's already been the prime minister, has done all these things, and has already been there, done that. She, like more than any, like the Irish politicians. Like what the fuck? Excuse my language, but what the fuck did Charlie Flanagan or Paul Keogh and them ever do in their life? Like let's be fair, Charlie Flanagan's about nearly 70, and he's just after leaving the door. I'm sure Sean would agree with me on this. Like what has he done in all his life? Like explain to me. What has he done? Nobody ever remembers him. The only thing we remember how he wanted to bring back the black and tans. That's what he wanted to do. So he's done nothing in his life, Charlie Flanagan, all his life. And Sandra Mountain has done more in her young life than any politician's ever done. What I'm trying to say. You have to remember that. Kamala Harris has not achieved much either. Like, let's be fair. Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's quite an achievement. Because there's not many people can say they were prime minister at 31, be the youngest prime minister in the world, etc., etc. And not even that too. She only entered politics when she was 20. So it barely even took her 11 years to get to the top job in the country. Think about that for a second. There's not many politicians in the world can say that. There's nobody really can really say that. That she went to the very top. That's insane. And especially if you look at her background too, she didn't come for any airs and graces. Like a lot of Irish politicians, are from their father was a politician, their grandfather was a politician, so they're a politician. A clique. That's what I'm saying. So it was no such thing as Santa with Santa. Double his age, excuse me. But yeah, imagine if we're saying I was a big fan of Kamala. Would you rather me put up a picture of Kamala Harris? Would you rather me put up a picture of Kamala Harris that's literally 60 or something like that? So would you rather that? Like what has Kamala Harris achieved? Yeah, she's 60 years old. What has she achieved since she was vice president? What has she done? I wait. What has Kamala Harris done? Same thing. It's not the same thing. But tell me one example of what Kamala Harris has done. Take for example Joe Biden. He's pretty much done nothing his whole life either. And Senator Mountain has done more in her whole life than any politician. And so she has. Regardless if you agree with her Finland joining NATO and stuff like that. Like she got that done. Like regardless of what you take in NATO, but she got it done, and she got them the quickest ever in any country into NATO. And not to mention, passed loads of reforms. Take, for example, like if you had a child in Finland now at the moment, take, for example, you have the longest maternity leave in the world, and that's because of Sanna Marin. So if you have a child now, you have the longest maternity leave, and parents have the longest maternity leave, etc., etc. Not to mention loads of reforms to the health service, etc., etc. Not to mention other things too, like many other things. The COVID and stuff like that, and different things. So, you know what I'm saying? Like the list is endless, pretty much. What I'm trying to say. Especially when you compare, like if you look at the current government in Finland compared to the other government, Yes, I know. I was there. I heard her say it. I know that, but she's not wrong. Like Donald Trump, but what she was referencing there, like she was talking about Greenland at the time. Just before that was said, she was talking about not woke. She said, don't be so ridiculous. No, but she was just referencing how Donald Trump saying I want Greenland and stuff like that, and I want Canada and I want this. That's what she's saying, and she's not wrong. He's not really entitled to Canada. He's not entitled to Greenland. Whatever about the Panama Canal. We can argue about that, but that's more or less what she's referencing. Because that's what she was just talking, just because I can say it, because literally I was there listening to her, less than 500 meters away from her. But even she said, yeah, like there's fewer people left government, yeah, but not like there's more left wing governments. Like Jacinta Ardern and them were off the wall and stuff like Sanna Marin was not as left as that. But I know even she's right about women too. But again, it's up to people to elect politicians, etc., etc. But she is right. Like Sanna Marin was a good leader, and I stick by that. I go to prison for that. I need to. But no, she was a good leader. She was well liked and well trusted by the Finnish people compared to the current Finnish government that is just off the wall. Like that's what it is. That just completely off the wall, like off the wall in every regard. And the polls kind of tell you, the majority of people think they're off the wall too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So at least she wasn't as bad at them. Like she's actually well liked. Like you can actually see now just what happened yesterday in the court case. You can actually see that a lot of people have a lot of sympathy for. Like nobody would have any sympathy for Justin Trudeau or Jacinta Ardern if that happened to them. Like not many people would have much sympathy. But she is well liked. You can tell by the way people reacted and stuff like that. People were not happy with it. It's the same if it happened probably even to Leah Vacker, just for argument's sake. People over here wouldn't really care, so you can just see that people wouldn't happy. And she is well got because you wouldn't cause this such a again. You have to remember such a big media sensation. Like even just today was 400 journalists or something like that were in the room when she was speaking and stuff. Like trying to get something to say, so they can put it on the front page of every newspaper. Not many politicians can say that, Yeah, the Taoiseach has a lot of he's head of the government. The president's only a ceremonial role in this country. It's nothing too major. You just basically sign off on the laws to make sure the laws of the land are constitutional. That's pretty much the only role of the president. It's not a huge role. It's just a constitutional role. The Taoiseach's job is the job you need if you need change. No, it's okay. It's a hard word to say. The Irish Taoiseach. Liz Truss called it the Irish Taoiseach. The Irish Taoiseach. At least Sanna Marin, like one thing I say about Sanna Marin, like the first when Micheál Martin went over to Finland that time when she was Prime Minister, she said it on the ball. Like she literally said the Irish Taoiseach. But Liz Truss couldn't even pronounce it. She said the Irish Taoiseach. So the Irish Taoiseach. Like that's what she said. Like Sanna Marin aced it like that time. She aced it when she spoke to the press. She was like, yeah, the Irish Taoiseach. She aced it. Like, in fairness, though, she did ace it. She's better than Liz Truss in that regard. I don't know who Anders should like. I don't know who it would be in Finland now. I would nearly argue the true Finns in this stage because your man probably should not be in the country at this stage. I don't know where Wika is. Wika is nowhere to be found. She's not going with us, it is. So she should be cutting his passport up right now. Not passport, but his residency permit. Where is Wika? Wika has not been at home. Yeah, so at least, let's be fair, Sandra Mountain is probably the best woman politician of our lively, of our generation, pretty much. There's not much other politicians that can come close to. Even take Holly Collins. Holly Collins is older, I think, than Sandra Mountain, is she? Holly Collins hasn't achieved as much as Sandra Mountain has in the same time. Holly Collins, how is spelling it? Holly Collins. Shakti Jala. She's 35, yeah, so Sandra Mountain was still the Prime Minister when she was 35. Sandra is a bit younger than Sandra Mountain, yes. That's not so much. But no, but I'm just saying in a perspective, not many people get to Sandra Mountain's position. She's only 39. And got to the Prime Ministership. Like, what I'm trying to say is no Irish woman politician that ever got to where Sandra Mountain was, pretty much. That's what I'm saying. Brandon, give me 2 seconds. Oh. Sorry, but I had to take the top off. It's too warm in this room. Too warm. Who? Holly Collins you're talking about? You met Holly Collins. Chance Collins, yeah, Collins. Yeah. Well, not forever now. That's what happened. Not forever. She'll go for the presidency. But she's not out of office forever. But if things were, if people knew what this Cohen Finnish government was like, Sandra Mountain would have got in. Like she got it. Like you have to remember, she didn't lose her seat or anything. She chose to leave. But yeah, no, it's not tight for you. I'd say like a lot of people do miss her. Like let's put that way. Because the Cohen situation in Finland is not bussing. Let's put that way. That's what I'm saying. Like things are like many people have said, it was more stable. Like things are more stable. Things nowadays are just off the fucking charts in Finland. Like nothing works. Everything's fucked. That's what I'm saying. It was a stable government. The moment in time this Cohen Finnish government could collapse, they could collapse tomorrow. Like it's just so unstable because they're just off the charts. No, I don't agree. No, I don't agree that she's gone. It's unfortunate that she had to. But again, you remember it's a very close election. But if people knew what they were going to do, the True Finns, etc., and the national coalitions, it would have been a quite different outcome. But I do think she's a lot happier out of office. I do think she is. To be totally honest, because I do think it took a toll on her in terms of the stress and all that of it. Because it was you have to remember, regardless of what you think of her, etc., it was a very stressful time. A lot of things happening. Like the Cohen Finnish government really have nothing really happening around them. That time there was a lot happening. Biden going to be gone. But anyway, we go at 9 o'clock, Bum, 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 bum. No, we're not. So I don't know. But anyway. I forgot about the music. Did I turn off the music on stage? I probably did. Oh well. See, that's what happens. I get too busy talking about things. I forgot about the music. So that's my fault. But anyway, that's that for tonight. And it's nothing really else. There's a few more things I could say, but you're look at them. Too tired out. Yeah. Um, didn't make it. Yeah. Well, I don't think she wanted to be body part of them. I wouldn't blame her. Why would you sell your soul? You know. Which airplane? What airplane? Which? Bum bum bum. So yeah, anything else? Any other fun happening? Or anybody doing anything interesting? I suppose tonight or the weekend. Excuse me. See, my throat's getting sore now because I talked for so long. I didn't even finish the tea that's behind me. I didn't even finish it. I only took 2 sips of it. Had a banana. What do you mean? I don't know what to say to you about that one. But yeah, I don't know. Now you started Tony talking about fucking food. Oh dear. You must be a chef in real life, Tony, because you always cook and stuff. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I can't wait for Darlene to go back Wednesday. Ho ho, it's going to be a load of fucking fun. Excuse me, yeah, excuse my French. Pardon my French. Any games tonight? No, not tonight. We might do one next week. See, with all this happened, the original plan was to live stream game and live stream. Friday gone by. That didn't work out, Sean, because all this happened. Because again, all this crisis happened, and that's what happened. And we had to go to give a fuck about different things. See me. Did it? Oh, Far Cry 3. I don't know about Far Cry 3. There is one other game I want to play at the moment. We might not go back to Hutto, Call of the Wild, that game we were playing. We might, if people want. Do we want to go back to that game for tricking about for one more stream? Or do we think we should move on to the next game? No, we're not going for that. We're not doing that. No, we're not going there. We don't have to go there. But what do you think? Yes, no. Do we think we should go back to Hutto, Call of the Wild? It'll be just we only one more stream of it, and then we move on to the other game. So should we go to the new game the next time we stream or whatever, or should we go to the same game we were at before? Yeah, well, if Rockstar believes that we master the portion of GTA 4, 100% we'd be playing GTA 4. Like 100%, like straight away we'd be playing it. We can't do what we don't have, you know. Yes, which yes, which what? Yes, which one? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whenever it comes to PS5, straight away we play it. Don't worry. I guarantee you that one. But it's not. It's the fact it's not on PS5. If it was on PS5, we'd be there now playing it. So whenever it does, we will. So should we play the game or should we go to the new game? What's the story? You had to be specific here. You can't just say yes. Oh, so it's nearly 3 hours of a live stream. See, as soon as I get talking about Santa, I don't shut up. So that's the problem. You know. Yeah, no, but it's not on PlayStation 5. No, it's either you can only live stream on YouTube on the PlayStation 5, and it's on the Xbox One. I have it on the Xbox One, but you can only stream the Twitch. Well, we're not coming back tonight. No, I'm not saying we're not coming back tonight. No, but for the next time, I'm saying for the next time we go live, there won't be any. We won't be live tonight anymore after this stream. We leave it for tonight after the stream. But I'm just saying for again. Going to listen to Modus. Bum, bum, bum. Modus. You're going to listen to Modus. 10 minutes behind, Tony. But do we have an answer, yes or no? Do we play the original game that we're playing the night, or do we move? Which one is it? Which one do we do? What do we do? Which way? I can't get to the defined answer. Yes, what? But yes, you're going to give me all your money. So yeah, send me your bike details. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Should we go back to that one? So you want to go back to that one, Tony? Like we just trick around. We won't probably do much. We'll just trick around. So seems like yes. We see sometime, but I don't think it'll be the next game we're playing now. See, these are short enough games. They're not long games. You know, you get what I'm saying. And the only reason why they're shorter because we don't have much time to play many things. Now, the next game is going to be short too. It'll be only about 5 hours, 6 hours, something like that, maybe at most. Like Assassin's Creed games, I want to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but we literally be about 50 hours at that, or 20 hours. No, maybe more than that. Sorry, not we will be nothing. It'd be nearly 100 hours probably, and we were doing it like it take a year for us to complete it. You know. You're the horse. Yeah, that's what I'm asking you what to do, but I don't know. I presume we want to go back to the hunting game. We're not going to it tonight, just to say, but we do it the next day. How does that sound? So listen, lads and lasses, we'll leave it out. That's all for tonight. I'm going to give myself another fresh cup of tea because I didn't drink this one. See, look what just made me do. I brought this up at the beginning of the stream, this tea. Took 2 sips out of it and then forgot all about it because it was too busy going on about the first thing we talked about tonight. So I blame you for that. It's all your fault. It's your fault. Everybody's fault. So yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote for tonight. So yeah, that's it. There's nothing else to say. We'll be back probably Wednesday live. I don't foresee us being live tomorrow or maybe I don't know about Tuesday maybe, but definitely not Sunday or Monday. We will be live. There might be a video. There might be a few videos because I have to get videos out on different things. There is videos out in the TikTok and the US and stuff on, but the Irish should be banned in Ireland and stuff like that. I do recommend if you get time to watch that. There's not that many. There's a good few recorded that I could put up, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, lads and lassies, that's it for tonight. It'll be a long day Wednesday too because the dog's back and stuff like that. And it's just going to be bullshit listening to all that. But yeah, thank you, Evan. Enjoy the West United, enjoy the West Eve, enjoy your weekend. That's it. I think that's not. I'm forgetting something. But anyway, thank you, Evan. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we speak soon. Thank you.